gaming in 2026 is going to be another huge year, so I thought it would be fun to put together a list of the good, the unknown, and the disappointing. Yes, I think there's already things that look a little disappointing or that I don't think are going to shape up all that well. These are basically my 2026 predictions about gaming and what I think is going to happen. Some of this is just going to be games that I am highly anticipating. Some of it's going to be games that I think are going to do very well. Even if I might not be interested in them, I still think there are a ton of great games coming out. And I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below if you're watching this later, and make sure you're here for these live streams. This video is longer, and you might not see a ton of comments below because everybody was hanging out in the live chat and talking. So if you're ever on my channel and you see that little live thing, click on it and come join the live discussion, and consider hitting the like button as well, or become a member, and then you can get into the extra content that we do for members. So I'm going to start with what is basically sort of my top 10 good games. Now, some of these I'm extremely looking forward to. Others are just ones that I think look really, really good and promising that I think people are really going to enjoy. So I'm going to start off with my most anticipated game for 2026, and it is SAROS. Now, it did get a bit of a delay recently by about a month, but I am encouraged by that. I think that means they're going to take a little bit of that time. I think people were wanting to stay away from May because GTA 6 was going to land in May, so it's now landing in April. People were theorizing it was because of a PSSR update, but that could be playing a role. We know there is something coming for PSSR on the PS5 Pro. I think the calendar is shifting a teeny bit already, primarily because that GTA absence in the summer can help the calendar breathe a little bit. Now, I will talk about GTA 6 more in a moment, but I do think that SAROS is my most anticipated game of the year, primarily because this is the spiritual sequel to Returnal. I've got over 200 hours in Returnal. I'm currently working on my very first platinum ever. It's actually not very easy to get in Returnal. It's easy for me because I've just got 100% on every weapon, which isn't part of the platinum, but I wanted to do it, and so I have every single perk maxed out. And the movement and the abilities and their goals of making this one a little bit more approachable by letting you permanently unlock second chance and letting you pick between some weapons at the beginning, I think is going to let people sort of sense their progression a little bit more. You do have permanent progression and meta progression in Returnal, and it's a little bit harder to detect, but I have a video on the channel right now. It's called Returnal Gameplay in 2025, and the first 20 minutes or so of that video has really helped people re-engage with Returnal, and a lot of them have now reported that they've been able to beat the game. So it's a great time to get into Returnal. You got plenty of time before SAROS comes out, but this is my #1 most anticipated game of 2026, so I have it right at the top of the list. Now, this next game is another one that I'm highly anticipating coming out, and it is called Replaced. I've had my eye on this one for a very, very long time. It is currently my prediction. This will sort of be the indie game darling of 2026. I believe it's going to get some of that Expedition 33 treatment. I don't think it's going to rise to the insane prominence and sort of award sweep that we saw with Expedition 33, but I think this is going to be one of the indie media darlings next year. We saw that happen with Silk Song and Hades 2 and Blueprints and Expedition 33. And I believe that Replaced is going to be another game next year that people become very infatuated with. It's just got a lot of heart and a lot of grit and just amazing vibes. I mean, that's a word that gets a little overused, but it's hard not to use it here. Just the intersection of modern lighting and shadows with the pixel art. It's just wonderful, and it's got this cyberpunkian sort of dystopian feel. I really, really am looking forward to this game, and I'm glad that it is finally coming. And this is one that, again, I think is going to sort of take over the conversation next year. I think a lot of people are going to be talking about Replaced. Now, another game that starts with RE, we're talking about Returnal Replaced, and now we're talking about RE9. Well, not Returnal, but SAROS. Resident Evil 9 is another game that I am very much looking forward to in the coming year in 2026. Now, this is going to be a game with two very different play styles. There's going to be the more sort of sneaking around and hiding with one of the main characters, but then there is going to be the more action-focused as well. And so it sounds like it's going to sort of blend what I loved about Resident Evil 7, which was the more sneaky, scary, you have to hide, and combine it with a little bit more of the action focus that we kind of saw at the end of Resident Evil 8, as well as the more classic like Resident Evil 4, where you're a little bit more in that combat focus. So they did make that clear. There will be 2 playable characters, and they will have very different play styles, and that I find very, very interesting. I did prefer Resident Evil 7 over 8. Resident Evil 7 was actually the first Resident Evil game I ever played, and I thought it was absolutely wonderful. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one flows and how it feels and how the action feels. I remember I tried the Resident Evil 4 remake, and it really just didn't land on me. I loved the Resident Evil 2 remake, but Resident Evil 4 remake, there was just something about the combat that didn't really vibe with me. It felt a little bit clunky, a little bit tight and cramped. People loved it and sung its praises, which I could see why they did it. It looked like a remarkable remake. It just didn't really vibe with me. So I'm a little interested to see if that more combat focus ends up being something that is a turnoff for me, and vice versa. I mean, people may want to be more in the action sequences in Resident Evil 9, and maybe they'll feel like they don't like the sneaky areas where you're having to like hide and that sort of thing. So moving right along here through my list of games that I think are going to be very good and I'm very much looking forward to, the next one is Control Resonant. Now, I am planning on doing a Control gameplay in 2026 stream to kind of remind people just how good Control is, and this one has me absolutely jazzed. I love that his weaponry is melee based. I love the concept of being outside of the bureau and in a sort of just destroyed, twisted, distorted Manhattan. And I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. This, to me, was the best announcement and best trailer at the Game Awards 2025. And they absolutely crush it with these games and the style and the feel, and they look like they're doing it once again. It's this sort of Inception-like, dream state, weird, but also very awesome game, and I loved Control. I'm looking forward to a replay of Control. It's been a long time since I've played it. It is now PS5 Pro Enhanced, and I've heard very, very good things about how it looks, so look for that very, very soon on the channel. We'll be checking that out shortly. If you guys are watching this right now in the live environment, take a quick second and hit the like button and consider picking up a Member Plus membership so you can get into all that extra content that we do. The next one's an easy one for pretty much anybody with eyes. Marvel's Wolverine looks fantastic. Insomniac is a studio that just doesn't seem to have the ability to slow down, and they also just don't seem to have the ability to miss. I mean, they are so consistent, and their cadence of delivery is so incredibly quick, and the quality of their games is just undeniable. From Spider-Man Miles, Spider-Man 2, and then Ratchet and Clank, they have just such a consistency, both this gen and the tail end of last gen, and the quality has just been, undeniable. And very, very much looking forward to Wolverine. It's coming out in the fall. It is a PlayStation exclusive, and I can't wait. The Marvel games from Insomniac are just at such a high caliber, and everybody loves Wolverine. I mean, I loved him in the Uncanny X-Men TV show when I was growing up and I was a kid. I've always thought he was awesome. We would fight over who got to be Wolverine in our board game that we had. We had like an X-Men board game growing up. So very, very much looking forward to Wolverine. And another one that kind of came out of nowhere for me, but I am really looking forward to in this year, is Onimusha Way of the Sword. Now, I know people are getting a little fatigued with the games that are sort of Souls-esque, sort of like, let's give a guy a sword and make him fight macabre, grotesque enemies, and it's really fast and challenging and hard. I kind of don't care as long as the combat's tight and feels good. I have sort of lost my flavor for the super challenging, like Souls-like, Lies of P, Sekiro-style games. Like, Sekiro is one of my all-time favorite games. I really did like Elden Ring until the very, very late stages of the game, and I've always felt that Elden Ring was, almost a work of art and a piece of perfection in the first half of the game. But I just sort of have lost my flavor for the very, very challenging Souls-like games. So depending on where this one lands on the difficulty spectrum, I may or may not tap out with it. I've started playing games, and if I'm not having a good time, or I feel like I'm sort of getting skilled out of the game, I'm getting older, I'm getting slower, and if I feel like the skill issue's there, my desire is to just, pretty much go play something else, especially when there's just so many games coming out. But Onimusha Way of the Sword is certainly on my list of games that I am looking forward to. Now, this next one kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm not really big on racers, but this one looks like it's just going to be such a fun romp. And this one was a surprise at the Game Awards. Now, I don't think this is something that I would pour like copious amounts of time into, because again, I'm not big on racers, but I could see playing this with my wife or the kiddos. Star Wars Galactic Racer just looks like such a fun, nostalgic, and pleasant time. I mean, if you grew up with Star Wars like me, the sounds, the music, there's just so much to get excited about. That Fate of the Old Republic trailer, as soon as I heard one piece of the music, I was like, wait, that sounds like Star Wars. So there's just a lot here. And the idea of having something that you can just kind of goof around with and race around with and be on a speeder bike or something just sounds like a good time. That is one of the games I think that will be a pleasant surprise in 2026. I don't think it's going to like dominate the award ceremony or dominate sales charts. I mean, it is Star Wars. It'll probably sell very, very well, but I don't think it's going to be some kind of like monumental game in the history of gaming. It just looks like a fun time. And I think more and more, we just need games for that. We need games just to be fun and just to deliver a good time. We don't need everything to be some big, huge, AAA, cinematic, almost like movie. But in the realm of big titles and feeling like a movie, Gears of War E-Day is another one that I'm really, really looking forward to. I really want to see what the Coalition can do with Unreal 5. I spoke with John Linneman from Digital Foundry about this. He firmly believes that they are going to deliver some of the best things in UE5 compared to other developers, and hopefully that can help other Xbox studios as well that are trying to leverage UE5. We've had good and bad out of Unreal 5, and it certainly comes down to, effort and optimization. But I think the Coalition has a pretty good proven track record, and I am looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a really, really good time. I think it's going to be one of the bigger Xbox games next year, especially with it being now a multi-plat game. I have always felt like Gears of War could do very, very well on PlayStation of all of the titles that Xbox is deciding to bring over, just because the vibe, the gritty third-person style and the cutscenes and the characters just very much sort of, I think, will resonate with that PlayStation audience that likes those types of games. Now, this next one I'm really excited about because I actually went back and played through Plague Tale Requiem this year. It was in my backlog, and I absolutely loved it. That one didn't launch at 60, and later when they added the 60, it's just a gorgeous game, and when running at 60 FPS, it was a very, very good experience. But Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy, is kind of continuing essentially a side story from one of the characters that shows up in Plague Tale Requiem. And I'm actually very, very excited about this. I think she was a great character in the story, and going in a more action route, I think is exciting. I always felt that twinge of frustration, which I think you were supposed to feel this, but there was this twinge of frustration with, man, I wish I had more of a fight and more of a weapon. I mean, you get pretty kitted by the end of Plague Tale Requiem, but it's not necessarily an action game. And this game looks like it's going to focus a little bit more on the action and the combat and sort of give you an actual, set of weapons. So Resonance, Plague Tale Legacy is coming in 2026 and can be wishlisted now. And that is one that I am really, really looking forward to. I loved the first one and the second one. And another one that I think it got pushed, but I'm okay with that, is Directive 8020. This is a game where my wife and I love these games. We love the Dark Anthology or the Dark Pictures, games. We love them. They make for great streams with you guys. And it's just so fun to make those choices and have those consequences. And this one just looks very, very good. I hope these types of games continue to come out. And this one has a much higher cinematic quality than we've seen in previous games. Not that any of the games like Until Dawn and others, they don't necessarily look bad. But this one looks very, very high quality. The actors and the picture, the emotional capture and the lighting and stuff looks like it's going to be very, very, excellently built. So I'm okay with them having to delay this one because I want it to be good. And the eerie space station, who's the shapeshifter, who's going to kill us, I love that concept. Now, this next one is the one on the list. That's one that I probably won't spend a lot of time on, but I think this one is one of the bigger games coming out next year, and it's Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. This one will, I think, be one of the bigger and more successful live service games from PlayStation. PlayStation continues their live service efforts. I know people don't agree with that and they want them to stop, but they've made so much money with Gran Turismo 7, MLB The Show, Helldivers 2. And they will likely make a lot of money with Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Marvel Rivals has certainly shown that if you build a really, really great game in a genre that people already kind of enjoy and like, and you throw some Marvel characters in there, and there's Storm looking pretty awesome, and we know what that does to the skins and the microtransactions when you got like really, really hot characters in the game. And this one stands to be one of the stronger games next year with respect to sales and player base numbers. I think it could do very, very well. They've been doing lots of betas and receiving lots of feedback from the community. I think that kind of posture will set them up very well to do good things. I mean, if you're listening to the community and you're letting people get their hands on the game this far out, I think that shows very, very good signs from the developer about the game long term. Now, the last game on my list of like big games that I'm really looking forward to, before we get into kind of the unknown, and this is the last trailer that I have for you. I didn't grab trailers for every single game, but Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight just looks fantastic. It has been confirmed to have co-op. I listened to Jake Baldino talk about this. He had a little bit of a hands-on with it. And his video essentially emphasized what I was already sensing, which is really exciting. This is basically an Arkham Lego game. And I loved Arkham Knight, and there's a lot of sequences in this and a lot of setups that really, really remind me of Arkham Knight. He said the combat is fun, the stealth is fun. You know, all of the references to all the different eras of Batman, both movies and comics. He, as an enormous Batman fan, he really, really liked it, and he really, really thought it was great. And so I am really looking forward to this one. And this one is showing up a little bit earlier in the year. The year is pretty spread out. I forget the exact release date of this one. I think it's pretty early, though. I thought it was... let me try and get the date. No, it just says 2026. We have a release date for it now. Chat's going to have to provide me with that. I'll say it as soon as they put it there. It's not in that trailer because that was when they just officially announced Lego Batman. They didn't actually have a release date just yet. But they officially announced the release date for Batman, the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. They officially announced that at the Game Awards 2025. We got that announcement pretty quickly. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button, man. Thanks for a strong turnout. I'm going to shift now into games that are a little bit more in the unknown category, okay? And I don't have trailers for these. That was going to be too many. May 29th, thank you. The Lego Batman game is in May. So, the unknown. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, but these are games that I'm a little iffy on. And the first one on the list is 007 First Light. The trailers look a little rough. There is visible performance issues and oddities. There's frame rate issues. There's really, really weird blurring going on in a driving sequence. There's driving sequences and action sequences that look a little too scripted, and it looks like it might be a little too Hitman and not enough. Like, people are saying it's kind of like Hitman meets Uncharted, which I think is a very, very good observation, a very fair observation. And I think the game could be very fun, but it is very, very quickly approaching. They already delayed it once, and I'm concerned that it's just not ready. It's like right around the corner in the development world, like being like 5 months away. You know, that's not a lot of time. And so this one's an unknown. It could be great, maybe with a couple of patches and polish. It could land in a very, very strong way. But 007 First Light is a little bit of an unknown for me. I can't really say I'm super excited or anticipating it. I don't feel a whole lot when I watch the trailer. It's something about it seems kind of a little bland and dated, but it could end up being a very, very great game and maybe a sleeper hit. Another one that's a little bit unknown for me is Phantom Blade Zero. It's been very interesting how that game has been showcased and how much they've been able to show and how much gameplay, but it looks very ambitious, and the China Hero project hasn't exactly hit its stride yet. And Phantom Blade Zero is not a part of the China Hero project, but it is one of those publishing efforts and exclusive efforts from PlayStation with a developer that is, you know, not Western and not something they've worked with before. And Phantom Blade Zero is sort of adjacent in my mind to kind of the China Hero project, like working with another studio in another country and kind of trying to get a game out there that has a very, very unique vibe. And it's a little bit of an unknown for me. It could be amazing, but it looks very, very ambitious, which we know that can end up kind of going aground and not going very well. Another one that is really unknown is Fable. And this one has undergone a lot of skepticism. There were lots of rumors they were having trouble. People insisted there was no trouble, but then it got delayed. And then they were showing, that simulated gameplay that wasn't gameplay. They finally showed alpha gameplay that looked fine, but not all that promising. As far as timeline goes, I think that the gameplay looked fine, but it was like, man, you guys have got a long way to go here. And that game is allegedly coming in 2026. Now, if we go into the developer direct, and I said this last year, and I got a lot of pushback on this. I said, listen, if Fable is not at the developer direct, I said, I think it's getting delayed. Fable was not at the developer direct in 2025, and it got delayed because I don't think they were confident in the release date. Now, we know that Playground is going to be at the developer direct in January. They could be there for Forza Horizon 6 because we know that's also coming in 2026. If Forza Horizon 6 is what they are there to talk about, I would have pretty severe concerns about Fable. Maybe it doesn't land in 2026. Maybe it gets delayed. Maybe it's become too gargantuan and too expensive. My growing concern with everything underneath Microsoft's ownership is if it becomes too costly and the margins aren't going to be there, they will just kill the project. This is an enormous concern that I have for literally anything underneath the Microsoft umbrella. This is not an Xbox thing. This is a Microsoft thing. And I've tried to say that for years. Many of the times we've gotten these discussions, people come to the chat and be like, why are you hating on Xbox? To me, it's more about concern about what Microsoft will do. It's had very little to do with Xbox over the years. It's been way more about Microsoft. And Fable could be another fatality in this situation. I really hope Fable is at the developer direct, and I really hope they have a strong showing because I think the game shows lots of promise. I love the style, the vibe, the artwork. The gameplay actually looks like it could be very, very enjoyable, and the combat. So we will see. Now, another one that's kind of unknown that we have no idea what's going on with it is Marvel Rise of Hydra. It's been delayed. It's been a little bit shrouded. The gameplay and segments or whatever they've shown in Unreal look like insanely good, which is always kind of like, well, is it going to look like that at launch? So Marvel Rise of Hydra is another unknown for the year that I can't really put a big stamp of approval on. It's like, I don't know if we're even going to see it. I don't know if it's even going to be able to deliver on the fidelity and what they've shown up to now. Another one that looked a little bit rough when they finally announced it, and we were hearing rumors about it, was Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. There's something rough about that game. There's something kind of rough around the edges, similar to some of the showcases of the 007 game. It just gives me pause. It's like, that could be great, but it could also be another game that they're just trying to push out, cash in on the name, cash in on the license, and it ends up not being that great. That's another one that's a little bit unknown for me. Nothing I'm saying right now is like criticism or hate or negativity. I'm just saying these are unknowns to me. I just really don't know where they're going to land. And another one that's really unknown for me is Crimson Desert. Every time I've seen that game, it just looks a little too good to be true. Even the recent outing, there was a noticeable graphical degradation. The lighting, the shadows, texture detail of the world, texture detail of the characters themselves looked significantly toned down. I would say that's a good thing if they're learning, hey, we got to tone some of this down. We were going a little bit too ambitious. Some of those trailers early on, there were so many NPCs and so much lighting, so much reflections, and so much going on. I was like, I don't know how you're going to pull this off. So Crimson Desert's another one that's a little unknown for me. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. Blood of the Dawnwalker is another one that looks very, very promising and very ambitious, but a little rough. The combat, the movement, kind of stiff, kind of awkward. So Blood of the Dawnwalker could be amazing, but it's a little bit of an unknown right now. I don't know how strong that one is going to land. Pragmata, we just promoted that this morning. We had a sponsorship contract thing over there on Twitch we got to do. Pragmata is one from Capcom that actually has looked better each outing, because a couple of those early outings, it was like it didn't look like it was performing all that well. But that one's a little bit of an unknown. The gameplay loop with the girl on your shoulder and like the little mini games that you have to do with her to like hack in. It looks like you don't have to do that every single time, but it also looks like it's going to be a major part of the game, and her voice and sort of her contribution to the dialogue could be a little grating. She has kind of like a shrill, like high-pitched voice. So Pragmata is one. that is a little bit unknown. Tides of Annihilation, another crazy, ambitious, insanely good-looking game that has performance issues in its latest gameplay trailer. Just a bit of an unknown. Like, I don't know if that's going to be a strong release. I don't know if it's going to land at quality. It would not be the first time that a super ambitious game with crazy combat, and everything's fast-moving, and it lands and it has performance issues. We had that happen with Black Myth Wukong. That still doesn't run all that great. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers had performance issues. I had review access to that. So Tides of Annihilation is another one that I'm kind of like, this is a bit of an unknown. And last on this list of unknown, before I move into the things that are going to be, I think, disappointing in 2026, and that's a small list because 2026 looks incredible, but Star Citizen Squadron 42 is essentially the campaign from Star Citizen. If you've not seen this, it is a star-studded cast of people. I mean, they got Mark Hamill. I mean, they got everything you could possibly think of in this game. Now, this game is allegedly coming out. This game is allegedly coming out in 2026. Okay, I snagged you a trailer here. There's Mark Hamill. This is an unknown for me. Star Citizen is a bit of a giant question mark for very, very many people. What in the world's going on with Star Citizen? Some people call it a scam. Some people say that it's never going to come out. Some people say that, it will and then it won't and whatever. This is a completely separate thing. This is not the game Star Citizen. This is Star Citizen Squadron 42. It is Again, it looks incredibly ambitious and dense and huge, and quality just looks absurd with respect to the characters in the world. I'm very excited about this, but this is a giant unknown. If this comes out in 2026 and delivers the goods and is excellent and fun and well built and optimized, I mean, that'll be an achievement. It'll also be interesting to see how those who continue to back and support Star Citizen will feel about this thing coming out and hitting a 1.0 and, being available in the market while the main game Star Citizen still sort of continues to trundle along in whatever they call it, fan-funded early access, I guess. But yes, that is the last list on my unknown. Now, the first thing on my list for disappointing, okay, and this is going to be weird, but I'm going to talk about GTA 6, okay? I think GTA 6 is going to mess with the calendar all over again. They've already done it this year. Their absence, they were supposed to be here and then they weren't, and so the last part of this year got really, really absent and vacant. Now we have games shifting around once again in 2026. There will probably be many more games that shift around in 2026 because May was supposed to be GTA 6 and now it's not. And now there's rumors that GTA 6 could slip again out of 2026 and into 2027. If that happens, that will be incredibly frustrating to see the calendar and everybody's expectations once again toyed with. It'll get to the point where, we're all going to say, like, enough already, either just ship it or don't, kind of a thing. So I think this is going to be a disappointing aspect of next year. Like, I don't think GTA 6 will be disappointing, but I think it's going to be annoying to have the release calendar and developers and publishers all sort of like holding their breath once again to see if this gargantuan game, this generation-defining game, actually comes out. And so I think many people are looking to this game to be a significant aspect of next year within the calendar and everything else, but I also think it's going to be annoying, personally. Now, another thing that I think is going to be disappointing next year, and there's a lot of dialogue about, like, writing off a game before we even played it and blah, 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 blah. Listen. Nobody wants these kind of games anymore right now. The demand for hero shooters, the demand for games that have art style that we feel like we've seen before. There's animations, there's movesets, there's combat. It just feels like something we've played before. You can get down into the minutia of the mechanics and the PvE and all of that. That doesn't really matter if it looks like something that we played before. And this is called High Guard. These are from, a team of people that spun off that, they worked on Titanfall and Apex. And I think this is going to be one of the more disappointing games next year. It's just going to be sort of another, like, live service, flop, as it were. And I know people don't like that. They don't like a game being sort of written off before it even lands. And I get that. I don't feel like this is forced negativity. I don't feel like I'm farming hate or something like that. I feel like it's just a genuine reaction. I saw this trailer, and people are like, well, if it wasn't the one more thing at the Game Awards, people wouldn't be so angry. I got news for you. If it wasn't the one more thing at the Game Awards, we wouldn't be talking about it. If this landed in the middle of the Game Awards, it would be long forgotten. no one would care. They'd be like, was that a mobile game? What was that? It just looks like something we've seen 10 times over. Animations, even the hand movements here, it looks like stuff that I've seen or played before in games like Overwatch and others. And getting into specifics about mechanics and, it's PvE and the like, I just don't think that's going to matter. I don't think it's going to be a game changer. So this is one that I think will end up being disappointing next year. Now, another one that I continue to, I get a lot of pushback on this. I get a lot of pushback, and people think I'm just sort of being like anti-Bungie, but I think Marathon's going to ultimately be a disappointing venture. I think it's going to be a disappointment. I think people that really wanted more from Bungie in the realm of Destiny or a Destiny 3 or maybe just a completely different game, I think this is going to fundamentally land as a disappointment. Yes, it looks better in the recent trailer, and magically you've got a lot of people suddenly saying that it looks so incredible now and it's so much better. I am still highly skeptical that this game has a shelf life. I just don't think games like this have staying power. I don't think they've had enough time to add depth and substance. I still think at its core, it just looks like a game that is going to center around killing others and getting out. And I think that content loop and what they have to offer is just not substantive enough to survive. I think the biggest challenge for games like this is re-engagement. They all know it. Even something as popular and insanely big as Marvel Rivals has seen the player numbers drop quite a bit. And that's not a problem for a game of that size and substance, or they can just keep adding characters, right? I mean, there's so much they can do there. I think that is something that we continue to see be an issue for live service games. Re-engagement is a challenge. I don't think it'll ever not be a challenge. And that is something that I think is going to make Marathon struggle. And the last game that I think is going to land as a disappointment is Duskbloods. Now, this is the sort of very interesting brand new game from FromSoft that is an exclusive to the Switch. Now, I don't care that it's an exclusive to the Switch. I think that's totally fine. If you want to work with a developer or a publisher and work on getting an exclusive for your platform, that's totally fine. I'm totally in support of that. I think that is something that we see happen time and time again, and I think that's fine to have that in the market. But Duskbloods just seems like such a mismatch for the Switch 2. I don't see this game being one that runs all that well, and I think the Elden Ring Switch 2 footage that went viral from that one event, they wouldn't let anybody record, they wouldn't let anybody capture. Somebody captured with their phone, and I tweeted out the one tweet that the guy had, and it got like 3 million views because I said, this just looks terrible, and it ran very, very poor. I cannot imagine this game running all that well or looking all that great on the Switch 2. That's just not the kind of system that the Switch 2 is. And we know that games like this rely on consistency. You need the frames to run well. You need the dodges and the iframes and the blocks and the parries. You need all those things to feel crisp and to feel good. And the Elden Ring footage was embarrassing. I mean, it looked bad. The fact that people were saying that it ran just fine, I didn't see any evidence of that. And seeing that this is basically going to be in the same engine and have the same style and have the same sort of approach to movement. I know it's not going to be Elden Ring, but again, it's from the same developer, and it's a very, very similar art style, and it's almost assuredly the same engine. I feel like this one's going to land as a disappointment. And I'm also just curious, is there a really big audience for this on the Switch 2? If you look at the games that sell like crazy on the Switch 2, and then you look at games like this, these games typically have their home and most of their players on like PC and PlayStation. So this one's going to be weird. I also don't think the exclusivity is going to last. I think this is probably a timed exclusive and probably something that, within 6 months we see landing in other places. So yeah, those are, I actually think 2026 is going to be so incredible. The things that I think are disappointing are, GTA 6 is going to mess with the calendar, Highguard Marathon, and Duskbloods. I mean, I really do think the year is shaping up to be absolutely enormous and dominant and fun, and I'd love to know what you're looking forward to. What are your top games for 2026? What are your most anticipated games for 2026? Leave a comment below or put it in the live chat. And right now, everybody go crazy on the like button. Let's try to get to 200 likes as fast as we can. We just got 100, and thank you so much for doing that. And I've got some people to thank. We are working on a goal, and you can see now the way we're doing this. 500 unlocks Friday night. Friday night's already unlocked, and thank you to everybody who's at Member Plus. You guys help that happen a lot quicker every week now. But now, when you unlock the next one, we do something extra special. Either Madam shows up on Friday night, or in this case, it's a community game night. And a 5 bomb comes in from Alex to kick off the day. Han shot first, and so did you. I owe you guys a member for hitting 550. The next one I'll owe you is at 575. So Haseo is going to bump the line as well to 553, and then Haseo does a 5-bomb all during the show open. Thank you, boys, for doing that during the show open. Let's get a little member train going. We got those gifteds, but we also have some renewals. Predator comes in with a VIP. Add that to the total. He says, Happy New Year's, Lono. My most anticipated games of 2026 is Phantom Blade Zero, Pragmata, and SAROS. Happy New Year, everybody, by the way. If it's New Year's Eve, happy New Year. I tell you what you should do right now. You guys know I say this every time there's a big holiday going around. And you know you're going to be going to parties. Maybe you're going to bars. If you're going to be drinking tonight, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to get Lyft, or I want you to get Uber, get it installed and ready to go on your phone now, okay? Do it now. Don't do it later when you're tipsy. Do it now so it's ready to go so you have a ride home. If you go to do it later, you're going to fumble with it and not do it, and then you might make a big mistake, okay? So get those apps installed now. I say that every time. It could change you could save your own life or others by making a much better decision tonight, okay? So Happy New Year 2026 as we roll into it. So Dean Bromley renewed for 13 months on a Member Plus, gets us to 560. Thank you so much. D Dizzle with 51 months. Dean Bromley says, how was your Christmas? My Christmas was excellent. Thank you. And then a VIP renewal, 52 months from English Oat. Happy New Year all. Let me add that to the total. We are now at 562. Okay, mine is easy. Neo 3. Yeah, Neo 3 didn't make my list, not because I don't think it looks good or anything like that, but because, I just don't, oh my gosh, I don't think I can hang with a game like that. I'm too old and I'm too slow. I can't do it anymore. It is 100% skill issue. It 100% is a skill issue. I can't hang. Some of it's my temperament, I can improve and eventually beat a fight or beat a boss. It's just also I don't really want to, I don't really have the temperament for it. There's the gifted member that I owe you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Let's see here. How about that like button, everyone? Thank you, Banshee, for reminding everybody to hit that like button. My man Mike on the mic spamming some emotes in chat. If you guys are here lurking, do a quick little spam there of the emotes. That does help us out. Yo, what's good, Derek? Hello from the future and happy 2026 to you. I'm 2 hours in and it looks the same. Please show the big singing guy near the end of the Elden Ring style Switch 2 game. And Haseo gifts another member. Thank you so much, Haseo. And Alex comes in with the 5-bomb. These guys need some help. Haseo and Alex are carrying the member count all by themselves right now for today. Let's get it going, boys. You said there was a guy singing at the end. Let's see here. Oh, there he is. Is it this guy? Yeah, here we go. Hang on. Yeah, this guy. My brother would like to see this. Let's get him up on the screen here. He's like, oh yeah. Someone needs to add a little Creed to that. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Haseo with another single comes in and bumps it to 69. Nice. We're 5 away with this renewal from Henry. Hope everyone here has a blessed New Year's. Remember to stay hydrated, chat, and take a taxi or Uber home. That's right, 18 months from Henry. And then a Member Plus comes in from Dynamite. That adds to the total, and Alex bumps the line as well. They're trying to set up that 5-bomb to 575. When you guys hit 575, I do owe you a member. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you. Yeah, that was pretty good. And he even kind of has like an 80s glam rock band hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting down. He's very, very excited to be saying, yeah, hold me now. Someone needs to do that. Overdub that section with a little Scott Stapp, you know? All right. Rockstar Jeff has a list of games, his most anticipated for 2026. Guys, put your lists in chat. He says Forza, Fable, SAROS, Wolverine. That's a great year right there. And a 5-bomb comes in from Alex. Alex is carrying the member count on his back right now. Somebody get in and help this guy. Clockwork and State of Decay 3, but not sure they launch. We don't have dates for Clockwork and State of Decay 3. Clockwork looks fantastic. I thought that was one of the better showings from Xbox at their showcase. I thought it was such a great trailer, such a great vibe and the art style and the comedy. I absolutely loved it. Hang on, I saw another one here. Adam King says Wolverine, SAROS, Ace Combat, 40K Dark Heresy, 007. Way too many to list them all. I want to know what your number one game is. What's the number one? And a 5-bomb comes in from Haseo and gets us to 581. We are a 20-bomb away. We're a 20-bomb away from the next big milestone of 600. We're trying to get to 1,000 on the week. When you guys are upgraded or at Member Plus, you get us there a lot faster right now, so consider upgrading. Let me go ahead and throw this one on. Remember, all upgrades count as 2, so you guys can absolutely skyrocket this if you decide to bump up. It's $1 more, but you get more content. And Khalid comes in with the 48-month. That's another renewal. Let me add that to the total. Happy New Year, Lone, and everyone. Can't wait for Resident Evil and Pragmata. Yeah, Capcom's got a strong year, you know. Pragmata's looking really good, you know. I think it's looking great. Resident Evil also looking very good. Hang on, I'm not in the live stream chat in the Discord. There we go. GTA 6 is the number one. Black Flag Remake, Resident Evil, Wolverine, Solasa 2 is my number one. I'm seeing a lot of Wolverines for number one. SAROS, Fable, Fire Emblem, Control Resonant. Number one is still SAROS. You know what I love? I love how many of you are saying SAROS is your number one. Like, that's my number one. I didn't put it on the thumbnail. I've been putting SAROS on the thumbnail a little bit too much lately. I didn't want to do it again. So I didn't want people to think he's talking about SAROS and Returnal again. So I put I put some of the bigger titles. I put GTA 6, Wolverine, and Resident Evil. I feel like those are kind of the big three next year. SAROS, Control Resonant, GTA 6, Wolverine, 007, Phantom Blade 0. Says Mr. Mikey Bot. Ace Combat will be a top game of the year type game. You think it'll be a game of the year contender? Really? Interesting. I don't know. Do games like that typically, you know, are they able to stand strong and pull? Like, you know, I don't know. I'm curious. Blood Message, official trailer. My number one. Okay, so Perfect Image is saying this is their number one. Wait, I feel like we saw this. Is this one of those? Is this another one of the ones from like a? Is this from a Chinese developer? I feel like it is. I don't know if it's going to have co-op. This one looks insane. I don't even know what we're looking at here. If this is like actual gameplay or just like really highly rendered scripted events in the game. This one looks a little crazy. I mean, I'm not saying it looks bad. This is another one that just looks like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. How could this possibly be real? What about Crimson Desert? Crimson Desert, I put in my unknown list. I had a list of things that I think are going to be good. I'm very confident in them turning out to be great. Crimson Desert, I put in my unknown list. I just think it looks too good to be true. It's already gone through graphical degradation. Their most recent showing, you could tell they had dumbed down lighting, shading, character detail, texture detail. And this one that we're watching right now is called Blood Message. This is an upcoming third-person linear action-adventure game developed by 24 Entertainment, a studio in conjunction with NetEase Thunderfire. It's journey through the real-life Dunhuang, or I don't know how to say it, Dunhuang uprisings in 848 AD. It's made in UE5. It's coming soon to consoles and PC, so they don't have a release date or anything yet. But Blood Message is Perfect Images. That's their most anticipated game next year. Most anticipated for me is Persona 4 Revival and Trails in the Sky 2nd. Gameplay is king, always will be. Blood of the Dawnwalker. I put Blood of the Dawnwalker in my unknown list. There's something about it that gives me a lot of apprehension. I'm like, I don't know. That one could end up being kind of rough. Haseo bumps the line again. Guys, Haseo is trying to stoke the fires here for a member train. Help him out. Also, if you're a member, if you get a gifted membership or you're paying for your own, you guys can use the question command. Use that to ask a question about gaming news. Just submit something that you want to say, and you want everybody to see it. That is a privilege that you get as a member. It doesn't have to necessarily be a question. It could just be something for me to interact with, disagree with, debate with. Feel free to do that. Haseo throws another one in the total and gets us to 584. 2026 is looking good for games, and Haseo does another one. He's trying to set up the 15. He wants us to be 15 away. He's hoping some 5 bombs start to drop. Somebody help this man out. He's so generous. Thank you, Haseo. Haseo is also very active in our Discord, so that's a great place for y'all to hang out. When we're not streaming and not hanging out here, you can hang out in the Discord. Blood of the Dawnwalker, that's a day one for me for sure. Requiem was still number 1 till I saw there's 2 separate playstyles. Oh, yeah, for Resident Evil 9. Yeah, 2 separate playstyles. One's going to be more action-focused. Yeah. I threw a question in the bin. All right, hang on. Let me pull it open. Yeah, you guys can use the question command, and it doesn't even have to be a question. You can just submit something, and I'll read it and see what you have to say. All right? MikeyBot says, Lono, what is your gaming New Year's resolution? Personally, my goal is to play more single-player titles and roll credits on a game every month this next year. I don't really have a New Year's resolution with respect to games. I mean, I'm happy to play more games and complete more games. And Alex and Siege Master tag team us to 600. A 10 bomb from Alex and a 5 bomb from Siege. And we're officially at 600. We are trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the week for Community Game Night, and you guys can help with that. You can gift, you can renew, you can upgrade. All of those things help. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys are hanging out right now, I appreciate it greatly. We thank you so much for continuing to tune in. If you watch long enough and consistent enough to get a gifted member, I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully optimistic. Let's see. I was stoked for Blood of the Dawnwalker until the dev deep dive and they explained the combat. It looks and sounds so bad. It just, yeah, it had like a really rough feel to it. I don't know. I'm going to say this. The biggest challenge of 2026 is going to be if your game is average or slightly above average, it's going to be a rough time for you. It's going to be rough. There are so many games coming out. I mean, so many. It's going to be tough. You're going to have to be at a very, very high caliber if you want to stand out. And if you want to do well. If you come out and you have performance issues, if you come out and you're in a rough state or you don't get the best reviews, it's not going to be a great year for you. It's just a stacked year. You will be quickly forgotten. I mean, in times past, you could release like an average to above average game and probably do pretty well. Now, oh boy, that's going to be tough. It's honestly going to feel at some level. I think it's going to feel like the tide has risen, and that you're going to have to stand a lot taller to be considered, worth people's time. I think that's going to be a common struggle for games in a year like next year. It's going to be a common struggle. How long will GTA Shadow last after release? I would say at least a month and a half to 2 months. For a solid month, you're not going to want to be in its wake. You're just not. Excellence or trust, those are your options to get my attention. Hang on, I got to delete these YouTube receipts. I've already gifted 3 times today. You guys are crushing it. Thank you so much for being here, by the way, guys. It's a daily talk show, Monday through Friday. It is safe for work. Some of you have left comments and said, hey, I've not been seeing your videos. You don't got to worry about that if you hang out in the Discord. You will never miss content if you're hanging out in the Discord. So that's a great way to not miss these live shows. Or always remember to double check your subscriptions tab. If you're like, man, where's Lono? I will be there. I'm uploading and live streaming pretty much daily. Ken says, my most anticipated is Resident Evil Requiem, Wolverine, Forza Horizon 6, Control Resonant, Blood of the Dawnwalker. Everything on your list is on my list except for Forza, because I don't really play like car games, racing games, whatever you want to call them, driving. And Blood of the Dawnwalker, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Happy New Year's, jerks. That's right. Let's ring in the new year, guys. Let's ring in the new year. I tell you what. I tell you what I'll do. I'll do a New Year's stream tonight. We could ring in the new year together if you guys get us close to that 1,000. If we can end the day at 800 today, I'll do one tonight. We'll hang out. I'll do it. I know not everybody can go to a party. Not everybody can go hang out. I'll ring in the new year with y'all. But we gotta get to getting here. Let's get to 800, and we can do an extra stream this week. Frank's got a question for me, and I discussed this in the open. I'm happy to discuss it again. I threw this out there. Chances Fable gets canceled next year. I'm here to tell you I'm concerned mainly because of how Microsoft's been posturing and how Microsoft's been talking about things. That's been a concern for a while. So that's, we've got a developer direct in January that's going to make it pretty clear what's going on. So Playground is going to be at the developer direct. And Jack Garland says, hey, let's ring in the new year, boys. Let's get to 800. And he starts the train with a 5 bomb. Thank you so much, Jack Garland. Man, those 5 bombs add up quick, boys. Let's get it. So Playground Games is going to be at the developer direct. If they're there to talk about Fable, then I think Fable's on track, and I think we're fine. If they're there to talk about Forza Horizon 6, and Fable once again skips the developer direct, then I'm concerned. Because I said this year, I was like, listen, if Fable's not at the dev direct, it's getting delayed. I just had a hunch it was getting delayed. I didn't feel good about it. Their showings of it were really awkward, and it was very simulated. They weren't showing real gameplay. They weren't showing raw gameplay. So, and a 5 bomb comes in from Frank last. We've got a 5 train started. Let's go. Thank you so much. We got 2 in a row. Let's see how many we can get before it stops. Thank you so much, Frank and Jack. So yeah, that one is, the concern is, I'm telling you, the longer a project sits and takes, the more precarious it becomes, because, Microsoft wants big turnaround. They want big ROI. They want big margins. Whether or not they apparently, allegedly, even Tom Warren from The Verge pointed this out. Like, we don't actually have a quote as to them debunking the 30% margin thing. Like, they debunked it, but we have no idea how they debunked it. We have no idea what they said. That was a very strange report that came out. Let's just say they debunked it, okay? They've still made it clear that they want margins in return, and they're willing to close studios, and they're willing to cancel projects like Perfect Dark. And they're willing to close studios. They're willing to chop people and get rid of them to help with ROI. So I think that's a completely valid concern. I'm not trying to do the whole fear-mongering doom thing. I think it's a valid concern for a game that was shown a bunch, and we were given assurances it was coming, and we were given assurances that was gameplay, and none of that was true. It wasn't coming. It wasn't on pace to arrive, and it wasn't gameplay. It was simulated gameplay. When they finally show the pre-alpha footage, I think it looks fine. It doesn't look anything like what they were showing in the trailers. And so, yeah, if it skips the January show, any chance they do a dev direct at the summer showcase? Okay, maybe. That's what people said this year, Mikey. They said, listen, if Fable's not at the developer direct, then maybe Fable will be, it'll have its own thing. Like when they did the Starfield Direct and the Call of Duty Direct. That's what people said. They're like, oh, they'll do it in the summer. They didn't. They delayed it. So, I don't know. If you're trying to come out strong in January and have a show of strength, I don't think you keep Fable hidden. I think you come out and show it, and you let us really see what's going on, and you give us a release date. I think that's what, if they don't do that, then it gets, to me, it gets shaky. It's like, all right, it could be getting delayed again. A $5 super chat from Alex. If Fable gets delayed again, I'm going to be pissed. And if it's delayed again, it's cooked and never coming out. Yeah, I mean, there is the distinct possibility that it could just be, there are games that just, eventually they just chop them and they just cancel them. I don't know. I obviously would rather a game get canceled before we know about it. Like, we know internally games get canceled all the time. It's never fun to have a game announced and shown and people get excited, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's not coming. We canceled it. Like what happened with like Perfect Dark and other games like it. I just, I don't know. Wolverine and SAROS and Phantom Blade Zero. Good list, Muhammad. You think Microsoft talks about Magnus this summer? Yeah, that could line up. I think Magnus is coming out 2027, so maybe they talk about it in the summer. Maybe they open up pre-orders in the holiday. I don't know. Hopefully Saros won't be a Hellblade 2 scenario for you. Well, here's the deal. They have shown so much Saros gameplay that seems unlikely. And the reason that seems unlikely to me is because I've played so much Returnal. I speak Housemarque's language, and I can tell from the trailers they're delivering an absolute banger with respect to gameplay. Hellblade to me, looked good and looked great, but it wasn't the kind of game that I had 200 hours with and could tell you exactly what the new combat was going to look and feel like, They also made it clear from the beginning they were focusing on different things. They were like, well, every single part of combat's been motion captured. That's betraying a hierarchy and a triage within the company. They've got a priority, that I think hurt the gameplay significantly. So, does anybody else hate the way this guy raises his hair to make him seem 20 years younger? Actually, I do this to seem taller, so, I love that I'm getting gray in my beard. I'm 44. There are other ways to admit you look like this guy down here in the picture. I mean, it's okay. Listen, there's nothing wrong with bald and going bald. I think balding is a great look, but I mean, being jealous of my hair is, there are other ways to admit you're losing yours, okay? Listen, man, stick around and talk about games. Who cares about my frickin' hair? You know what I mean? Look, it's so tall, it doesn't even stay in the zoom, I do it to distract from my gigantic forehead. Come on. I popped by to celebrate my gifted membership. Yo, what's good, Justin? Good to see you. Yeah, eye makeup. You look so pretty. Bear in mind, he's 50. You can tell by the way his bottom teeth are crumbled together. Man, you're an interesting character. You got a lot of observations about my appearance. I wonder what you look like. I'm here strictly for the hair. Thank you. See ya, girl. Toodles. Been a while since we had a heckler. Yeah. Apparently, age is a problem. You should be ashamed of your age, I guess. Yeah. I wear it. I wear it proudly and freely that I'm 44. He's checking you out. That is true. Listen, if you're trying to ask me out, I'm taken. I'm sorry. If you wanted your hair to distract from your forehead, you might have gone in the total opposite direction. I know, a mop top, down here. It'd be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't have a large forehead. What do you mean? Or I always wear a baseball cap. I always have a ball cap on. I'm like, I don't know what you guys mean. I don't have a big forehead. What are you talking about? In any case, we can anticipate games in 2026 and fun times, without mauling people in YouTube chats. We've got plenty to talk about. We can all laugh at him, and that was fun, but there's more important things to discuss other than my hairstyle. Other than my hairstyle. Oh my gosh, forward and down, that's right. Forward and down. Boys, make sure you're hitting the like button. It's always fun when a troll comes in and we can kind of point and laugh at them, but it's even better when the like count goes up, and the members as well. Consider gifting. He can't get one now because we've walked him to the door, but bald is fine. The people trying to conceal the fact they're balding are tragic. I remember I worked at a place where, an older gentleman had been wearing a pretty bad toupee. I mean, it was bad. And he finally came in without the toupee. And, he said he got a haircut. And it was like, yeah, you certainly did. You cut out some of that hair for sure. And he looked great. He just looked great. His countenance was better. He seemed more confident. He looked awesome. I think bald is a total look. I think you can pull it off. Now, I don't know if I could pull it off. I have an alien sized bulbous head. It would be a lot. It'd be a lot going on here. I'd have to mess with the lighting in the room because it'd be tough for you guys to watch without sunglasses. So I'm obviously blessed with hair that's sticking around. Oh, man. Long ago, I decided if I was going bald, it's all getting shaved. Yeah, I've got friends that did that. They just were like, I'm giving up the fight, and they just shave it. I don't think Fable will be at the Developer Direct. So Ken's talking in our members-only Discord, a great place for you guys to hang out if you're a member. He says, I don't think Fable will be at the Developer Direct. Forza is looking like a first half of 2026 game, so I think Playground will be on that. Okay, well, let's just say this. Let's say this. And the 5 bombs at the top of the chat are about to slip away, boys. The five gifted member train can continue. We got Frank and Jack stoke the fires, all right? Here's the thing. If Playground's there to talk about Forza, and they say, we look forward to showing you more for Fable in the summer at the showcase or whatever, then I'm fine. If they literally don't say a word, a whisper of anything about Fable, I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like you want to come out and get people confident in the title and get people confident in the roadmap and the schedule, and to completely act like we're not even going to talk about it doesn't exist. And Cardoc Ren keeps the 5 train alive. There it is. We're at 6:15 and 10 bombs set up there even longer. Ooh, he got it in just before it disappeared. Nice job, Cardoc Ren. We are now 10 members away from me owing you guys another member. Thank you so much, Cardoc. There's a really sweet subreddit of encouragement for guys who are going bald and make the jump. I love that. I love the internet starting to take up arms to be positive. Like, I love that. Like, let's celebrate, dudes that are putting themselves out there and embracing either being bald or having a big old birthmark on your face or something. Like, just be you. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? This weird, like, extended adolescence where we make fun of what people look like. Like, Jiminy Christmas. 5 bomb comes in from Alex and gets us to 620, and we're 5 away from me owing you guys a member. And Trey is submitting a question. This is something you guys can do as a member. Look what happens. He submits it, and I pop it up on a screen just like that. He says, Lono, I'm a console-only ever gamer, but yesterday I bought a brand new 5060 Ti from one OG to another. Do you have any advice on where to start? I've never been on PC. Jimmy Neutron here. Oh, looking like Jimmy Neutron. That's right, Zubair. Well, I don't have much to say here. I mean, if you're wanting games to play, I'd set your sights on games that you can't get on console. Like a Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, or if you're asking me about what to do with the hardware or how to tweak, I'm not going to be able to help you at all. If you're wanting to find games to play, there are games that you can't get anywhere else. That's where I would start. If you're wanting something to play, Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault, I loved the gameplay loop in that. You can't get that on console yet. It's in early access. Hades 2, you can't get that on console yet. I would check out that, and like I said, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I would target games that you can't get on console. If you're talking about the hardware itself, I'm the last person on planet Earth to ask. I don't know anything. Yeah, play Control. Control apparently looks amazing on PC. If you already own it on your PlayStation and you have a PS5 Pro, that might seem a little redundant, to buy it again for a graphical boost, but some people do that. Buy a few $3 games. It isn't painful. That's right. You just buy the graphics card or the rig. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he bought. He just said he bought a brand new 5060 Ti. He probably meant to say a brand new 5060 Ti rig. I don't know if he just bought the card. Were you just holding it? Like, what are you doing with it? Escape from Duck Off? Yeah, Escape from Duck Off. That's right. Deep Rock, Survival, Hades 2, Satisfactory. Satisfactory is on console now, but Satisfactory is another really fun game. It does play better on mouse and keyboard. I'm positive it plays better on mouse and keyboard. It didn't translate the best on controller. It was serviceable, but it wasn't the best. It could have been better. It was a little was a little clunky. So, there's a new Epic Mickey going to PlayStation Plus. Isn't Hades 2 on Switch 2? It is on Switch 2, but I don't, maybe he could play it there. I don't know if he has a Switch 2. I'm pretty sure Trey is on PlayStation, I think. I actually don't know where he games. Maybe I'm assuming. I thought he was a PlayStation guy. Maybe he isn't. We'll see. He can answer in chat. Forza YouTubers have been getting Forza Horizon 6 gift boxes from Microsoft this week. Yeah, that's probably what... Yeah, that's probably what they're going to have at... the Forza Horizon's probably going to be at the Dev Direct, for sure. You know, and listen, my whole thing is... If you're not going to say anything about Fable, then just expect people to be skeptical and worried. That's what I would say. I think that's totally fair. I think after everything that's happened, I think it's totally fair to be like, if you're not going to talk about it, you're not going to mention it, you're not even going to tell us, hey, we look forward to sharing more about Fable at the Direct, in the summer. If you're not going to say anything like that, then I think it's fair for people to be like, well, we're worried and concerned then, because, why won't you talk about it? Why won't you, give us some assurances that it's still coming or it's still on the way? I'm just saying that I wouldn't get too worried if Fable isn't there in January. Now, if we don't see it in June, I'd be very worried. I still feel like you want to come out in the beginning of the year and let people know, hey, we're going to talk about it later. Oh, you got the whole rig, says Trey. And yes, I own a PS5 Pro Series X. I want to get into Red Dead 2. You want to get into Red Dead 2 role play? I don't know. I don't know how active that is. You talking about going into Red Dead Online and doing role play? Have you seen the new IOI comments about modern James Bond for modern audiences? Oh, gosh. They said that out loud? Listen, stop putting those two words together. If you're on a marketing team, marketing firm, if you just go get coffee for the studio company that you work for, just spread the word. Stop saying modern audiences. Nobody knows what the frick that means, and... it's a pretty charged term now, and people think it means all sorts of stuff. So, I'd quit using that. I'd quit using that term, If there's one thing I know about James Bond, there's not a lot of modern audience out there. They're like, the people that grew up watching that are like, what are you talking about? Just stop saying that, please. Bumblepants submits a question here. And says, how close are you to the Returnal Platinum, and when you cave and get it, please do it. I was trying to get it last night. I need one more glyph, and it's stupid. You run through Biome 1, and you don't kill anything. Jump to Biome 2. You run through Biome 2, hit the teleporter, hit the other teleporter, and you run it backwards from the tippity top, and if this room doesn't spawn, you do it all over again. It's dumb. It's dumb, chat. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's absolutely dumb. You know what I mean? What about unban audience? Huh? What do you mean unban audience? What are you talking about, Dan? I'm a modern audience. I ain't rushing out to watch Gone with the Wind in the cinemas. Keep at it. We need a Lono to make you a real gamer. Oh yeah, I need a platinum. That's right. I'm not a real gamer until I have a platinum. That's right. I have people that have run this grind I'm running, Bumblepants. They were on Reddit saying it took them 30 times to get the room to spawn. So, guys, keep hitting the like button. We're closing in on 200 likes. Keep submitting questions or your list of games that you're looking forward to in 2026. Gaming in 2026 is shaping up to be really, really strong. And, we've got a lot of people that have found us today in the vertical live feed. If you're watching right now and you're watching vertical, like the shorts feed on YouTube, I'd love to hear from you. What's the experience like? Does it look good? Do you enjoy it? Or did you just come over to the mainstream? If you've ever found me that way, I'd love to know what the experience was like. We've actually had a lot of people find us that way today, so that's pretty cool. That's a whole new way of meeting folks. I'm worried that Fable never sees the light of day and becomes the next Perfect Dark. Fable was announced, I feel like 3 or 4 years ago, and we still haven't seen any gameplay. No, they showed us gameplay. They showed us pre-alpha footage. A platinum Lono emote would go crazy. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. We'll ring in the new year. If you guys can get this to 800 by the end of today, I'll do a stream tonight and ring in the new year with you. And I'll try to get the platinum tonight with you. I'll boot up the game and I'll show you the grind. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Someone said you need a platinum to be a real gamer. They were joking. They put it in the YouTube chat. They weren't being serious, Big Pack fan. Anybody who's like, you're not a real gamer if you don't get platinums, like, come on. That's ridiculous. That's not... Anybody who uses the phrase real gamer, I'm always like, okay. All right. We got a live one here, boys. Do it. I'll do it. I threw out a midweek goal for you guys because we want to have this at 1,000 by the end of the week. If we can hit 800 today, I think you guys can do it. You go on a little member train, we can totally do it. And we'll ring in the new year together tonight. And I'll show you the grind because it's dumb. It's so stupid. I'll show you the low drop rate. With my luck, I'll get it the first time I try. You know what I mean? Cat Uncle submits a question. Not a question, but probably Fire Emblem. Yeah, this is fine. You guys can use the question command for this. This is not like the Twitch days. This is not like the Twitch days. You can submit something and it doesn't have to be in the form of a question. Fire Emblem or Monster Hunter stories are my most anticipated games as well. Whatever the next Mario game or Zelda game is, seeing as Nintendo waits to announce. One of the big searches right now, people are really looking for Nintendo Switch 2 launch titles. People are kind of like, what's going on next year? Because in their mind, like, we got Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and Kirby, and they're like, where are the big dogs, and Metroid? But the people are thinking Mario and Zelda. You know what I mean? I think it's fair. Yo, Jay bumps the line with a single gifted. Thank you so much. Many hands make light work, man. A lot of singles and 5 bombs add up quick. Thank you, Jay. I've done a fair share of dumb grinds for platinums. Brett here helped me level characters for Kill the Justice League. Oh, really? I love some platinum trophy videos, man. Those videos are nuts. What do you put in a platinum trophy video? What do you do? Do you show yourself working on particular trophies? Where's the beef? Who remembers that? I remember that. What was that? It was Wendy's, wasn't it? That was a Wendy's commercial. It was wasn't it like an old lady that said it or something? I just noticed the classic NES beneath the mic arm. That is actually this is a Lego set. So that's a Lego, the classic Nintendo, the controller's right there, and then the TV comes with it. Alex actually sent that, the one that's been gifted members today. Yeah. Stop it, creature. How to get all of them? Okay, so you just show yourself getting the trophies. Okay. I've never done it, so I've never looked for the videos, so I don't even know what they look like. You show exactly how to get the trophy, and at the end it shows you getting the trophy. Well, there you go. I mean, I understand why people make them, because people look for them. People want to see them. Alex says, hola. That's right. Don't get a GPU that's slower than a 5070. 5060 Ti is so slow. It's too late. He bought the rig already. I mean, he should just blow it up, throw it away. Apparently he made a really big mistake. Just get rid of it. Throw it in the trash. They go through the journey of getting the trophies, and they tell the stories, kind of guides. They're awesome. The Game Boy Lego set's legit. It looks really cool. Yeah. Christopher Burnett says, one of my predictions for 2026 is the next mainline Mario game gets announced, but doesn't come out until 2027. Really? What about a mainline Zelda game? Like, what's going on there? Like, I'm interested. I want to see what they do next. I really, really do. Because Breath was amazing. Haseo is going to bump the line one more time. Man, this guy, so generous, Haseo, with the gifteds today. He's like, come on, boys. He's trying to rally the troops here. I appreciate you, Haseo. I have a 5060 Ti. It works perfect. 5060 Ti is perfect for most people. Yeah, I don't know enough to respond. It seemed like a pretty exaggerated statement. A 5060 Ti is an incredibly powerful card compared to all the cards on the market. Just don't expect 4K path tracing. There you go. Not on the market, I mean in use. That's what I thought you were saying, Zubair. It's an incredibly powerful card compared to the cards that are currently in use. Did you see Insider Gaming is reporting that a 5090 will cost $5,000 MSRP in 20... No, I didn't see that, no. I think we're getting a Zelda remake next and a mainline in 2028. Good night. That's a long time from now. Is that based on rumors? I've not seen that. Are you just speculating? Zelda hasn't been that long since the last one, so I feel like it's too soon to talk about it. It's been almost a decade since the last mainline 3D Mario game. Are you sure about that? Mario Odyssey release date. Oh, you're right. Mario Odyssey was 2017. That feels like... I felt like that just happened. Now, they did the Mario Bowser one, but wasn't that like a game that was already out and then like added content to it or something? I played it. I don't really remember if it did it exist before that. Guys, double check really quickly that you've hit the like button. It does help us out. Let's try to get 200 likes. We need about 30 more. Hit that little thumbs up, man. Give it the little ching-a-ring. The report has been everywhere. I think WCCF Tech first reported the card price. Really? There's a Pokemon 30th anniversary logo. Oh, Pokemon's probably going to do something pretty big next year, I would imagine, if it's the 30th anniversary. You want a Link to the Past remake? I'd be down. Link to the Past is my favorite Zelda. I loved it. I played through that so many times back in the day. I play Cyberpunk on Ultra with my 5060 Ti, and I get like 140 frames. It sounds like the 5060 Ti is a totally capable card. I'm not really sure why it was being besmirched in chat. Subair says, listen, I'm also a high-end PC snob, but most people are just trying to get it to play some games. We need to have space in our hearts for them. He's like, no, I refuse. My prediction is 2026 is Nintendo starts charging for background music to offset higher hardware costs. You want that background music? Yeah, it'll cost you. Like a literal jukebox. You have to pump like digital coins into. You want to change a song? That'll be 25 cents. And our 25 cents are dollars. You're like, this is stupid. Member Plus from Liquid Smoke. 55 months. 5 away from 5. Boom. 623. Thank you so much, Liquid Smoke. That is a long time, my friend. I'm only speaking about mainline 3D Mario games, and it's been a long time since we had one. And Tears of the Kingdom was like 2022, so I think Zelda will be around 2028. Tears of the Kingdom was 2022. See, I wonder if 2022, though, for Tears of the Kingdom, they were able to do that really, fairly quickly because they built off of breath. Did that jumpstart and help? I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what did they have other companies work on Zelda? It's also the 40th anniversary for Zelda. Yeah, if next year is the 40th anniversary for Zelda, they're going to do something. Maybe not a mainline. Maybe like you guys are saying, it'll be some kind of a Zelda remake. Def Side with 47 months. Legend of Zelda Minish Cap was the best game. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so much, Def Side. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the total. We'll add normal members to the total, but here's the thing. When you're Member Plus, you make this blue number go up. And that's super, super helpful. It jumpstarts the week. So if you guys consider doing that. But if you just do renewals now, I'm just going to start throwing them in to the total just to make it faster for you guys to... Not faster, I'm sorry. To make it easier for you guys just to help. I think I played through A Link to the Past over 30 times. I used to do it 3 times a year. It's a pretty quick playthrough, isn't it? Like back in the day when you were a kid and you could only play for an hour or so on a Saturday. It took a while. But now I think if you really sit down and commit, it's pretty quick playthrough, isn't it? And a single comes in from Haseo and gets us to 625, and Alex is the agent of chaos, and he pushes us past to 626. They were trying to land that plane. I now owe you guys a member. And we have a we have a random goal that you guys can do right now. I tell you what I'll do. Let me make this a little bit more clear. Wait, I'm typing on the wrong key. Do you guys ever do that? Yeah, wrong keyboard. New Year's. Let's get an image for New Year's here. This one will work. 2026. Save image as. Boom, 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 boom. And we'll save it in there like that. All right, here's what we'll do. I'm going to update this so you guys can kind of track where we are. This is a cool little tool that we have that I can use here. We'll go in here. And let's see. Here we go. We will go like that. And then we will go... And we will turn that into a 2. Yes. Turn that into a 2. And turn that into a 4. So that we'll have an image here to remind you guys. I'll do a new New Year's stream for you here. And I'm gonna set it like that. There we go. So we're gonna make that one. And then we're going to be that one. New Year's stream update. Boom. There we go. See, we're closer. We are closer. And it's got the wrong picture. So I'm going to have to do this. There we go. Perfect. All right. There we go. Casually has 5 keyboards on the desk with only 1 connected. No, I just have 2. Anybody ever type on the wrong keyboard? I just keep them lying around here. No, I just have 2. I've got 1 for the gaming rig and 1 for the streaming rig. There we go. I type on my MacBook keyboard all the time, thinking I'm typing on the desktop. Yeah. It's probably not common that people have like multiple like this. It's, streamers we're a unique breed with the level of stuff sitting around. It can be a bit much sometimes. You're like, I enjoy. That's why I actually enjoy doing some work on the laptop. I'm just like on the couch with a laptop and nothing else. Like it's just a little bit more straightforward. Let's see here. I know we don't talk Pokemon a lot here, says Smooth Jazz, but the rumors for the next gen are interesting. From procedurally generated maps to a mechanic that morphs how a Pokemon looks mid-fight. Codename Majin. Yeah. Man. We know that anything they make tends to sell like crazy, even if it performs really poorly, even if it runs really poorly. They'll sell a ton of copies. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things where it's just such a dominant brand. Mario, Lona wants Mario typing too. No. What's funny is a lot of the times, with all the games coming in 2026, which feel free to continue putting your lists of games. What are your most anticipated games for 2026 in the chat? Put your top 3 or your top 1. Even if you're lurking, just put your top game, that number 1 game, or the couple that you're looking forward to really, really quickly. And then consider hitting that like button. I appreciate everybody who's already hit it. But looking at the year, I'm kind of like, I have a hard time when someone's like, is there a really old game you want to see remade? Or is there a really old game you want to see remastered? I'm always like, no. I don't really have that. It would be, if somebody did it to, Super Metroid or Link to the Past, I'd be excited, but I don't have a list of games I'm dying to have remade or remastered. There's just so many big, exciting new games coming. I don't have that list of games. Game Freak is not known for innovation, so I'd be surprised if the next Pokemon game has much innovation. Yeah, but isn't Game Freak working on some kind of a Souls game? I forget the name of it. Bloodborne 60 FPS, that's my demand. I will say that should be the one I start saying when someone's like, what's a game you want to see remade or remastered? I should be like Bloodborne, because everybody always talks about it. And to me, I think Sekiro, I think Sekiro is the king, and people are like, well, you haven't played Bloodborne. And it's like, I ain't playing Bloodborne at 30 FPS, yo. I'm not doing it. No, thank you. As much as the Battle Pass system has negatively impacted the industry, I'm more of a live service player. CS2, Overwatch, Minecraft, Sea of Thieves. Is there anything next year that you're like, you got your sights set on, Kevin? Yeah, Beast of Reincarnation, that's it. His dudeness with 42 months says Phantom Blade 0, GTA 6, and Control, Resonant. Solid list. Very solid list. Yeah. I put Phantom Blade 0 on my unknown list. I'm excited about it, but my confidence level's not quite there yet. I need like a gameplay deep dive where like they've got somebody just kind of sitting there on the sticks. Like what they've shown seems very vertical slice, very scripted. And that always makes me a little nervous. It's like, okay, I mean, you can really impress me with a nice slice of gameplay that you have just perfectly polished. You know, that's an easy thing to do. And it makes me sometimes think maybe the game itself won't quite look like this, if that makes sense. What do we got here? Okay. I'm intrigued by the idea of OG God of War remake. Sekiro and Bloodborne are my two favorite games ever. Sekiro is better, but it's close. A Metal Gear Solid remake. I also forgot the name. Yeah, somebody put it in chat, and I've already forgotten it. Somebody put it in chat, and it's already left my brain. Beast of Reincarnation. Yeah, here, I'll show it to you. I think we did a video about it back when we first... Beast of Reincarnation. Yeah, this is from the Game Freak boys. Let's see here. Long ago, a great creature appeared in this land. His name was Pikachu. Here's his foot. That'd be really... Man, that'd be a wild... game, like photorealistic, violent game. Princess Mononoke. I mean, this game could certainly be cool. It's another one of those ones where like there's something about the motion and the movement and the particle effects and the world and the camera and all of that, like the presentation. I just get a little worried about performance. You know, it's got some of that Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Black Myth Wukong vibe where I'm like, hopefully this thing runs really well because it looks awesome. Yes, Beast of Reincarnation is coming in 2026. Yeah. They have not given a release date. They've just said 2026. Yeah, that's all they've said. My most anticipated game of 2026 is GTA 6, GTA 6, and GTA 6. Did I mention it's GTA 6? No other games even close for me. I'm just glad I can play all the other games before GTA 6 releases. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, GTA 6 is probably the big one, you know, and I get it. It's going to be a pretty, you know, it'll be like generation defining. It's going to be a moment in gaming history. So it's not surprising. I expect a lot of people to pick GTA 6 as well. That is, I think that's fair. And to be quite honest with you, while I'm looking forward to it, I'm looking forward to it for like for a variety of reasons. It's not just like, oh, I can't wait to play it. Like I am interested to play it, to see how it feels, to see how it looks. It's like, can we just get this over and done with and out of the way so we can kind of just, you know, walk into 2027 and be like, okay, finally it came out, it did its thing, it broke records, it took over the calendar, and now we can kind of get back to everything else. We can get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Does that make sense? Like, it's fun to anticipate a huge game. It's fun to look forward to a huge game and to play it and to talk about it. But this thing is just so tectonic that it almost feels like a nuisance at some level. My most anticipated game is Kirby Air Riders. It's already out. I'm excited to finally have a generation-defining game again. We haven't had one since Starfield. Come on. That was pretty good. Can we end the before GTA 6 meme? No, for sure. For sure. It'll also shatter records. Oh, for sure. I mean, it's gonna break every record that there is to break. I mean, there ain't gonna be much left, you know. Mikey Bot submits a question. Hey, you can do this if you're a member. Use that question command, and it can pop up like this, and you get guaranteed response from me. If you've got an opinion, if you want to debate me, if you want to ask me a question, use that command. Did you see the remake game that was announced that looks almost identical to Expedition 33? I guess it's time to capitalize off of their success. I think it looks fine. I think it looks great. I think that's normal. You know, they've made an impact, and people are gonna. I mean, it happened with Hades. You know, Hades made an impact, and then you have all these what we call Hades clones. And if the games are quality, you know, who cares? You know, there's a lot of Hades clones out there. There's Realm of Ink on Steam. I don't know if Realm of Ink has a console release. Oh no, it does. Official Xbox announced trailer. Play anywhere in the spring of 2026. So it looks like it's going to be a PC. It's a PC game now, I should say. I'm sorry. Coming to Xbox. So, there's a Realm of Ink demo right now. So if you like Hades games and Hades clones, check out Realm of Ink on Steam or the Realm of Ink demo on Xbox right now. I was not aware that they did that. It got unlisted on Steam randomly, and it took a while to get back, and we never really got an explanation as to why. We're not really sure what happened, but it did, but it's back. So I really, really enjoyed this when I played this on Steam. I think this one's got a lot of potential. It was a more approachable Hades style game. I felt like it was a little bit more approachable than Hades. Hades can be pretty tough, you know, and some people, you know, might not be able to hang. But this one's got a great art style, great vibe, lots of different build options, lots of different playable characters, and right now on Steam and a demo on Xbox. So check out Realm of Ink if you like these kind of games. What's it doing on Steam, by the way? I'm actually curious. Let's see. Realm of Ink. Steam. There you go. It's doing fantastic. 95% overall. Recent 87. Let's scroll down here. It is an early access game. It does have a demo, and it's currently on sale for basically like $14. So solid game. Excited to see it coming to other platforms. Yeah. And Haseo gifts another member. He's bumped the line. I know what Haseo is probably going to do here. He's hoping to tempt somebody to do a 20 bomb to get us to 650. And then maybe somebody could manifest the 50 bomb with the 40 bomb emotes. Let's see it. Haseo is the man. He's so generous. Just absolutely poking that line. And we've added an ad hoc goal of just 800. Homie got that browser at like 380%. Yeah, I have it zoomed in for the purposes of when I go half screen like that. So when you guys have an article on screen, you guys can like see it. Got another question here. It also helps for this capture here of the questions. Does the GTA 6 release date make the Game Awards cutoff for nominees? I would imagine they would make an exception, I would think. They're going to want it to be a part of they're going to want to have it as a part of the show. I mean, we'll see, but we don't know the date. The cutoff's usually halfway through November, and as long as the press has their hands on a game, they can nominate it. They did that with the Deadpool VR game. Like, Deadpool VR got a nomination, and it wasn't, like, officially out yet, but it was because the press had their hands on it and had already kind of reviewed it, and they said, yeah, this is one of the best VR games this year. So yeah. Thank you, Haseo, for spamming that emote. Guys, a really, really free and easy way to support the stream is to hit the like button. Let's try to get to 200 likes. For 2027, my money says GTA 6 gets bumped again. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that they think that the GTA 6 release date is... They're just not confident in it. And I think that is... Yeah. I don't know why anybody would be at this point. They were like, yep, for sure, we're really confident in it. Yep, for sure, we're really confident in this one. And now they're like, yep, for sure, we're really confident in this date. And it's like, yeah, you were confident in the last two. So at this point, I think it is. It's become a bit of a nuisance of a game on the calendar, and hopefully it can hit its date, and we can all stop worrying about stuff having to move, shift, delay, or jump around. I don't expect GTA 6 to get delayed anymore, since 2 delays is typical pattern for Rockstar. But never say never, I guess. Yeah, I think it comes out this year. They don't have a lot of time left. I'm kidding. I know what you mean. It's like, I think it comes out this year, guys. They've got about 12 hours left in Eastern time. GTA 6 is a PS6 release title. No. I don't think so, because I don't think the PS6 is coming out in 2027. I don't think that's happening. I don't think they were on pace to do it, and I certainly don't think they're on pace to do it with the RAM situation. VR, a Deadpool VR released on November the 18th. It released the day of the nominations. Yeah, but again, I think the same thing could happen with GTA. They could say, "Hey, we've got a release copy. So obviously, if you have that release copy, you can certainly vote for it. You can certainly vote for it." So, new GTA trailer dropped. Yeah, they're always dropping. If you believe chat, there's a new GTA trailer all of the time. Let me get this framed up here. Question from Has191: Crimson Desert, AC Black Flag remake, and probably Kingmakers. That's a solid list. That's a solid list of games. Crimson Desert was one of mine that was on the unknown list. I'm not sure about it. I've been pretty apprehensive, since some of those early trailers. So, yeah, I saw like Luke Stevens and Jake Lucky and others. They're doing a non-corporate game award style event called New Game Plus on the 8th. Kind of interesting. I don't know if is that the official name? They're doing a thing that's all about like promoting new games. Let's see here. I gave it the old retweet. Every time I go now, they're trying to sell me premium on that platform. Good golly. Let's see. Yeah, it's called New Game Plus. The New Game Showcase. They got a YouTube channel and everything. So they're going to have 45 games. It's creator-led, no paid placements, genuine excitement and conversation, exclusive game footage, and interviews. So, yep, that is coming. That is going on when is that? That is January the 8th. So mark your calendars. January the 8th. And a 10 bomb comes in from Charles Freeman. And he's like, boys, we can hit this little goal here of 800 and have a New Year's stream tonight. Thank you so much. We're at 638. Mr. Charles Freeman, just been so generous over the years to the channel. Let's pop another question up. The Big Pack fan says, what GTA is your favorite, and do you think GTA 6 will continue to be built upon for another 13 years like GTA 5? I've never been a big GTA guy, There are games that I've been kind of late to. I was late to Resident Evil, and I never really got into GTA in the past. GTA 6, I'm interested as a commentator and a gamer. I don't know if I'm going to be playing, GTA 6 for the next 5 years. I could see playing through the story, but as far as what they do with it, I would imagine they're building a platform with it. They're going to have GTA 6 online. They're going to have a whole host of ways to play in the online environments and arena for sure. Could totally see that being a thing. And a single gifted comes in from Barrett's Champions. Thank you so much. Getting us to 639. Thank you very, very much. Beat you to it. What did Alex say? We should rename the show GTA 6 Waiting Room. We would have to pick topics, and we could just vibe every day. Yeah, it's true. We just do that every day. Yeah, all the way to the lead up. Yeah. I mean, we could do it all year next year. Will GTA launch with crossplay? I have no idea. I mean, do I think it will? a lot of the times, games of that size, they're going to stagger the online. We know that. It's not launching with GTA 6 online. That'll be staggered. And because of that, that often then means things like crossplay are also staggered. Now, somebody might push back and say, well, they'll stagger the online so that they can ensure crossplay is working or what have you. Games of that size, games of that much engagement, I would think, yeah, you might have to wait on crossplay just because of the enormity of the game and how difficult it's going to be to have like server stability and people logging in and playing. Surprised you never got into GTA games since you seem to like story-driven games, and a lot of the GTA games have always had really good stories and great voice acting and amazing soundtracks. So when you do single game streaming like I did from 2015 to 2020, like basically living in Destiny, a lot of games just don't get rotated in. And prior to being like a Destiny streamer, I would just live in first-person shooters. It would Call of Duty, Borderlands, Battlefield. That's just where I lived. From Wolfenstein to Quake 2, 3, and then Unreal Tournament and Call of Duty. So I didn't play a lot of story-driven games until I got into like late PlayStation 4 era, and I got to play games like Spider-Man and God of War 2018 and Uncharted 4, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are excellent. And then I walked into this gen, got myself a PS5, and played games like Ghost of Tsushima, and my palette and my preferences really changed when that happened. So it was like primarily first-person shooters. That's all I wanted to play, and then it was nothing but Destiny. And so that's why a lot of times if you look back, you're like, man, why didn't you play this game, or why didn't you play that game? Some of it's because I either didn't have a PlayStation or was just living in first-person shooters, because that's just what me and my buds did. We played Call of Duty just all of the time, or Borderlands just all of the time, or we played a lot of Battlefield 4. I remember my brother and I playing a lot of Battlefield 1942 and a lot of Unreal Tournament, like Facing Worlds, Instagib servers, just all night. So I missed out on a lot of games during that era of time because that's just where I lived. Perfect Image submitted a list of games here. Day One Games, Blood Message, 007, and GTA 6. Very, very solid list. As you guys are coming in, you can use the question command to ask a question, or you can submit a list of games that you're looking forward to. Gaming in 2026, predictions, anticipations. That's the topic today. While you're doing all that, make sure you're hitting the like button. Try to get us to 200 likes. That like count just kind of stopped, so make sure it didn't glitch out on you guys. Let's see here with Jack Garland. He says, for 2026, can we create new labels to replace roguelike and roguelite? The same goes for PvE and PvP. They sound too much alike. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to propose name changes. I think they're fine, and I think they work. Obviously, I get that you're joking around, but yeah, I'm not going to propose any name changes. We've spent enough time debating about what is an RPG and what is an exclusive. Just riveting, stimulating discussions. Just riveting, discussing those types of things. Now that Vince passed away, do you think that means that we'll never get a Titanfall 3? I mean, he wasn't even at the company anymore. He was over there working on Battlefield. You know what I mean? I don't think that has any bearing on Titanfall. I can never finish games like GTA or Red Dead Redemption 2. I end up running around committing crimes for hours and hours, and then I go play something else. Yeah, you can really go wild and free and crazy, and then yeah. I'm good with dropping both like and light from rogue. Make rogue mean any variation. Yeah, you could say, yeah, it's a rogue, it's got rogue elements, How many layoffs do you think we'll see? I don't know. You had insiders like Kepler. Was it Kepler that was saying? No, it was Sneakers. Sneakers SO was saying there's going to be more coming from Microsoft. I think we'll probably have another round from a lot of the companies, from PlayStation. A lot of the tech companies will do one more round. We've got enough distance from the overhiring that they did in like 2020 and 2021 that it should start to restabilize, but we probably have another bout of them. Yeah. Hi, Lono in chat. What are we doing today? 2024 was rich game in terms of great titles and fun. Yeah, we're talking 2026. What are your top games for 2026? What are you anticipating? Folks are using the question command. They're trying to hit a goal as well. Some of y'all are gifting members. Thank you again to Barrett's, Chosen, and Haseo, and Charles Freeman, and Alex for going crazy today. You don't think the corrections are complete? Not quite. Especially not for Microsoft. They did their overhiring in 2020 and 2021 like everybody else, but then they acquired ABK. So their mushroom in size kind of continued, and so I don't think they're done yet. He said quarter one, not sure if that's fiscal quarter one. I thought he was referring to quarter one of the year itself, not fiscally. That's when they did it last time, didn't they? They did it a couple times, honestly. I just don't know. I mean, there was a handful of analysts that I read on this, and they said 2025 into 2026 it'll stabilize. And a single comes from Broken Earth. We are a 10 bomb away, and Terminal Stupidity is right there to do it, waiting in the wings to get us to 650. Thank you so much, boys. We threw together an ad hoc goal. It's 1,000 for the week. But you get 800 before tonight, and we'll ring in the new year together, and I'll show you guys this stupid platinum grind in Returnal. Yeah, people are being very, very generous today to ring in the new year, so we're 150 away from the random goal we threw together today. Thank you so much, Terminal Stupidity. And another 10 bomb comes in from Broken Earth, and he says, well, let's keep it going. He's not the only one that can throw down a 10 bomb. Thank you so much, Broken Earth. Some of you guys have just been so generous lately with the gifteds, and we appreciate it so much. And we are bringing back Green Room to YouTube. That's a really good reason to upgrade to Member Plus. You won't be able to watch Green Room without it, okay? And you're going to want to be there for those because they're going to have a short shelf life, all right? Listen, the theme of the coming year is FOMO. Just deal with it. I'm gonna start deleting streams as soon as we're done. I'm just kidding. You better be here. We would never do that with our public streams. That would be ridiculous. And a 5 bomb comes in from Alex. He sets up another 10 bomb dunker to get us to 675. Thank you, Alex. Very, very generous, sir. They're like, this guy's an idiot. He just keeps deleting his streams. Oh. Oh my gosh. Insomniac Black submits a question here. Let's take it. He says, with as much money as GTA 5 has made, I'm surprised Rockstar hasn't tried to do some of the things that Fortnite and Epic has done. Why do you think that is? Well, I mean, they have their own way of making tons of money. They don't really need to copy Fortnite. You know, they'll sell you 18 different versions of the game. You know, they're also focusing on getting GTA 6 out the door. You know, and Risick comes in with a single and bumps the line to 666. That's terrible, Risick. You cheeky son of a gun. Yeah, bump the line to 666, man. Somebody get us the frick out of here. You like Marvel Rivals at all? They're getting Deadpool in a couple weeks. No, man, I don't really play PvP games. I just don't. I can't vibe with them. I like Arc Raiders, but Arc Raiders is a PvE game in disguise, okay? If you look at the player base and you look at the response to my latest video and you look at the response to my poll, I think most people are playing that game and they're focusing on PvE, okay? They're the PvP game in disguise. And Risick bumps the line to 667. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. It goes to B3D3, and a 5 bomb comes in from Cardoc Ren and gets us to 672. A Member Plus renewal from Creature gets us to 673. He says, get those numbers off the screen, and XCal with a single gets us to 674. And Haseo lands the plane on 675. We are bursting our way to the New Year's Eve celebration for 800. We will have ourselves a time, boys. We will ring in the new year. I will show you I will show you this stupid Returnal Platinum grind, and then we can start working on Community Game Night. Thank you, boys, so much. It's a looter shooter with friendly fire on. It really is. Where, like, everybody could be your friend or, not. But, yeah, it really is. I mean, it's funny. Have you not heard of shark cards? Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They don't need to copy Fortnite. They have their own way of making tons of money off their player base. You know what I mean? Who knew throwing up the devil's number would get the gifting going? Right? Right, Alex? You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Nobody likes that number. Let's go back here to the questions. We've got some more coming in. We got one from Christopher Burnett. He says, do you think we hear more about Kojima's game OD in 2026, even though the actor Udo Kier has a big role in the game passed just recently? Oh, that's sad. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. Kojima's saying it's pretty ambitious. Almi Massacration? What the frick? Almir. I'm calling you Almir. Almir, thank you for the 5 bomb. Boom. 680. I don't think we have a 20 bomb yet today. It's an opportunity for somebody to slam this home to 700. You'll be the first 20 bomb of the day. And get us, we'll be right on the runway to the 800 for tonight. The devil likes the number. I don't think he cares about the number, boys. I think it's kind of a, what is that? It's like folklore, you know what I mean? He doesn't care about that number, He just wants you watching bad stuff and thinking bad stuff and doing bad stuff. Is the number after this and before this learn to count? Okay. We will do our best to learn to count. Everybody work on that right now. Ready? All right, ready? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. See, we know how to count in these rocks. Come on. Everybody here knows how to count. Why would you even say such a thing? The larger game companies are trying to get everyone into the Apple lifespan. What are you guys talking about in the Discord? Apple lifespan. Excuse me. I don't even know the origin of it. Mark of the Beast or something. It's not a... I know people like to make fun of my degrees, but as someone with degrees in this, it's not a thing. It's not actually a thing. It's not. You don't have to worry about it. It's just a goofy thing where you're like checking out at the grocery store and you're like, oh, give me a stick of gum. I can't have that on my receipt. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, Kojima's game OD, I just don't know. Yeah. I was complaining about 667 being on the screen, not 666. We can't have that. We can't have that on the screen. That's right. The frickin' 67. You know what I mean? Source? God? What's your source? The Lord. Sorry. I'm slowly going crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, source. Jesus. That's right. That's right, boys. Don't be believing all this hooey out here, okay? Ain't no mark, ain't no number, ain't no curses. Ain't no such thing as curses. Anyways, the world was supposed to end. Yeah, it was. It was supposed to end then. It didn't. Is that a credible source? I think so. And a VIP renewal comes in from Jaggy, 52 months. Lono, wishing you and Chad a great 2026. If I'm not around a bit later, let's bump the line to 681. We will see. If anybody wants to be an agent of chaos with a 20 bomb, they could scoop it right now, but Lone Wolf's got a question. No, he doesn't. This is his list. You guys can use the question command to submit your lists of what you're looking forward to in 2026. And Lone Wolf says, my most anticipated games of 2026 is Cooking Mama 5, Hello Kitty, What in the world? I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. He says Blood of the Dawnwalker, Lords of the Fallen 2, Wolverine, Tokon Fighting Souls, Solasta 2, Crimson Desert, Duskbloods, Onimusha, Marvel 1943, and Neo. You better start saving your pennies, brother. That's an expensive year. You got a lot going on there, you know. You guys better be saving up now, you know. 2026 is jam-packed full. So, clears throat and pushes up glasses. Where's your citation for that information? That's right. I was told this story, but someone once asked the Atlanta Falcons for a source on their tweet about a player transaction, and their response was literally us. Yeah, they're like, us, we're the source. Those are my favorite sort of Twitter interactions. Somebody's like, you should go to school for physics. And they're like, yeah, I have a doctorate in quantum physics. Like, those are the best. They're like, yeah, I've literally wrote books on the matter. What the frick are you talking about? You know, those are the best. Got another one here from Bespoke exclamation point. Says, I've already pre-ordered Crimson Desert, SAROS, 007, and Lego Batman. So I guess those are my most anticipated by default. This is Lono if he was bald. Now listen here. We have a Lono bald emote. You don't need to make me look like that. Some beardless yellow ball. Like, come on, man. We have a Lono bald emote. Sir. Anyways. Yeah, Crimson Desert, SAROS, 007, Lego Batman. Yeah, SAROS is at the very, very tip top of my list. Lego Batman's on my list. 007 and Crimson Desert were on my unknown list. They're on my unknown list. I just don't know about them. I mean, 007 looks a little rough. I'm not super confident in it. Crimson Desert just looks so ambitious. There it is. Let's get some Lono bald emotes. Let's get some farty bomb emotes. Come on, let's manifest a big day here, you know? A big bald head. And a big, big member goal. Let's do it. So I can count really good. This is correct. Yes. The larger, that's really what you want. You really want your head to be as large as possible. Pause. Adam with a question. Any franchises you're looking to get into for the first time? I'm finally starting the Trails series this year. How about this one? Xbox better? Yes, we all know that. I don't know if there's a franchise that I'm looking to get into this year. I mean, let me look at my list here. Let's look at the list. I don't think any of these are like franchises. I mean, maybe GTA 6. Maybe I finally get into a GTA game and play it, you know, to completion. I've played Resident Evil before. Control. Are there Onimusha games before this one? Onimusha Way of the Sword or whatever it's called. So maybe we could say Onimusha. Maybe Neo 3. I never really got into those. I'm not going to get into fighting games. I don't think ever. I played Talos Principle over Christmas. Still holds up. They did like a remaster of it recently, didn't they? They did like a remaster. Yeah, Talos Principle. I was playing Talos Principle 2 with Matt, and we were like trying to solve the puzzles together and stuff. And I fell off with it. Games I'm getting in 2026, says Christopher Burnett. Dragon Quest VII Remake, Resident Evil, Trails Beyond the Horizon, Code Vein 2, Fatal Frame 2 Remake, Neo 3, 007, Crimson Desert, Pragmata, SAROS, Phantom Blade Zero, Onimusha. There's more. I couldn't fit them all. Yeah, my post on my channel, everyone's like, where's this game? Why isn't this game here? I'm like, guys, it's just a picture. Like, let me show you. It's just a picture of like some of the games coming. Now, this is the real problem. Hang on a second. I'm zoomed in here. There we go. It crops it. So if you click on it, there's the full image. All right. That's still, this just a sample. This is just a sample, chat. Like, this is crazy. High on Life 2. I don't know why Light No Fire's on here. We don't know anything. We don't know if that's coming or not. Like, High on Life 2. I forgot about that one. Mortal Shell 2. Code Vein 2. You know, there's a lot going on here. This is just a sample. What is this? It's by 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 40 games right here. 40. And this isn't all of them. Behind me is the Blood Message and Threads of Time is what's behind my camera. Oh, and Slay the Spire 2. This is 40 games. That's a 40-game grid, and it's not even all the dadgum games. By the way, if you want to leave a comment on that, go right ahead. It's sitting there with 79 comments. So what are your top 3 games coming in 2026? Feel free to engage with these posts and polls on the channel. Here's one right here. How do you play Arc Raiders? Has almost 5,000 votes. PvP, PvE, both. I don't play. PvE taking a huge lead there. The both is slightly behind it, but still behind it. I think people are playing that like it's a looter shooter, which is, I think, a good thing. OD is confirmed for 2026. I don't know if it is. Kojima OD release date. There is no official release date. It's expected no earlier than 2026. I don't think it's coming in 2026, to be quite honest with you. Interviews recently didn't really seem to be, driving any kind of it's around the corner or it's coming next year kind of a narrative. It seemed like it was really ambitious. And he was like, yeah, I don't even know if we're going to be able to pull some of this stuff off, that he was talking about. Like, I think Kojima's just being Kojima, but still, he wasn't sounding like, oh yeah, it's right around the corner. Like, it didn't seem to, it didn't sound like that to me. So, I'm concerned about Crimson Desert, but that's why I pre-ordered on Amazon so I can return it if it's bad. Are they good about you getting, what am I trying to say? Are they good about getting the game to you on the launch date? Like, is that like a thing? Are they like it like shows up and you like, boom, you're ready to go? Or do you end up getting it like late in the day or the next day? Another one coming in here from Minchtree. I'll clear the question command after this so that the queue doesn't say there's like a large number, because there isn't. What are the odds that SAROS is a prequel or somehow tied to the events of Returnal? Don't want to give away the ending, but there are ways to tie the two together. I think that the odds of them being connected are very low. I think there is a mountain of evidence within Returnal that make it clear it's not real. Like, it's in her head. She's trapped in her mind. There's too many things that don't make sense. You have to believe that there's an alien controlling her mind, because her house shows up, items from her house show up. You go into Tower of Sisyphus and there's like literal hospital bed just sitting there, and then she can lay down and go into a hospital and relive memories and stuff. None of that makes sense. It's got to be some kind of weird like mental prison that she's stuck in, right? It's a Sisyphusian trap. She can't be free of the guilt, shame, trauma, whatever it is that you believe. Whether or not it's her wrecking the car and then killing her mother, or the trauma and demand of her mother, hanging over her head and haunting her, whatever you think it is. I don't think what you're doing in Returnal is real. I don't think so. Unless you buy into the theories that she is under the control of some alien force that's making her think things and see things. So she really does crash land there, and the alien's messing with her the whole time. Even when she allegedly gets rescued and then ends up back anyway. Like, yeah. So I don't see how it would be connected to SAROS. They might do Easter eggs and loose connections to mess with us, but I don't think there's going to be like an aha moment where you're like, oh my gosh, this is literally a prequel to Returnal. Unless they're just straight up lying to us and this is somehow connected, because they basically said they're not. Sneaky Wolf with a $5 super chat. Does Virtua Fighter 6 have a release date for 2026 yet? I don't know. And Sneaky Wolf bumps the line by 1 and gets us to 682. Zubair says, just a thought. If we get to 800, are you going to do New Year's Eve for every time zone? No. I will do it for mine. I will do it for mine. It'll be very, very fun and silly and goofy, and we're going to try to get the Returnal Platinum. You know? We'll be ringing in the new year. You guys could pull it off. We're 2 hours into the stream, so you have a little less than an hour to do it. I think you guys could do it. You guys are going to have to rally, but I think it's possible. We're 118 shy of it. Eternal Darkness messed with gamers' heads in game and in real life. I wish developers would do that again. And a member plus from Lazy Nerd. Let me add you to the total. Boom, 683. Thanks for jumping back in, Lazy Nerd. And a member plus renewal from Scotty B. Let's add it to the total. 684. Happy New Year's, everyone. Be safe. Yes, be safe. Be safe. I don't think that was a new member. Look at the badge. I think Lazy Nerd's been a member plus for a long time. Also, it's been confirmed Returnal is just an Elon's simulation. If that's supposed to be a joke, I don't get the punchline. I'm not sure what you're saying. You don't understand, Mama. I need to do it for Hawaii. It's a gamer thing. You don't know. That's right. That's me trying to explain it to Madam. We need 7 more likes on the stream to get to 200 likes, guys. Thanks so much for being here today. And a single comes in from Haseo, making it real easy to get to 700. It's 15 away. Thank you so much, Haseo. Haseo has been so generous today, bumping that line like a madman. Thank you so much, sir. Besides, GTA 6 SAROS is my most anticipated game for 2026. Yeah. Gotcha. It just said welcome. It might have been that their membership lapsed, so their celebration looks new. It might do that sometimes, Jay. I'm not sure why it happens. Art imitates life, I suppose. That's right. And a 5 bomb comes in from Lone Wolf. He sets it up. We're 10 away from 700. I owe you guys a member at 700. You were saying the return. Oh, the world of Returnal isn't real. Oh, I get it. I'm sorry. I mean, you should be sorry. Your joke wasn't funny. I mean, we're all waiting for your apology now. I know that was awful, sir. Seriously, apologize. Like we would like that. I think that's owed to us. Oh my gosh. All right, do we have any more questions? No, question command is clear. You guys can submit questions and see if you want to ask a question, if you want to tell me the games you're looking forward to, and the like button as well. And Risick comes in and he's like, Duke 691. He likes to do, Joker Quinn used to do that. We'd be like exactly 10 away. Somebody would set up the dunker and like Joker Quinn would ruin it. And now Risick has taken up the mantle of ruiner. Risick the Ruiner actually sounds really good. I mean, that's a great username. Yo, what up? What up, Lunchy Sky? How are you? Why did we never get a Biomutant sequel? I think the better question is, why did we ever get Biomutant to begin with? Like, why? Why'd you do this? You know what I mean? Like, I would love to interview developers the way that, what's his name? Dana Carvey dresses up and he's fat. Lemony Glick. What's his name? His character's name, is it Lemony Glick? Or anyways, I would love to interview developers that way and be like, so why did you make this game? And they're like, well, we did it. You know, they give us an answer. And I mean, like, no, what I mean is why? Why did you subject us to this mediocrity? Why would you do this to us? We would like an explanation and a formal apology as well. Jiminy Glick, that's it. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. It's Martin Short. That's right, it's Martin Short, not Dana Carvey. It's so funny. Jiminy Glick, when those clips hit my feed, I have to watch them. He's like, what does he say the one time? He's like, well, Billy Mays died. He just randomly says it. He's like, do you bear any responsibility? It's just stupid. Yeah, it's kind of Between Two Ferns before Between Two Ferns. It's a similar idea. Like a passive-aggressive interview. Oh, I love it. It's so funny. I love because the celebrities can't keep a straight face. They can't take it. They can't take it. Zach Galifianakis is better. Oh, I think they're both great in their own right. The Zach Galifianakis outtakes are fantastic. Dana Carvey's busy working on the PS6. That's right. Dana Carvey's busy working on the PS6 and the PSSR update for the PS5 Pro. That's right. He's very busy right now. That's a joke about how Mark Cerny looks like Dana Carvey. If anybody didn't catch that. Biomutant was August of 2021. Kojima recently said in an interview he'd like to make a game set in space. Some of his favorite movies are sci-fi cyberpunk movies. We definitely need a spiritual successor to his game, Snatcher. Didn't he recently speak to an IP where he was like, yeah, I'd really like to make that into a game? I swear he did. I don't know what. I'm not sure what it was. I feel like Kojima would like to make pioneer a new game, blurring the line. I swear it was I swear there was a franchise and he's like, "Oh, I'd love to make one of those. I'd love to make a game in that world." Oh, Predator Badlands? Kojima might be interested in making a Predator Badlands game. Yeah, that was it. He mentioned that movie and people were speculating like maybe he'd like to make it. I mean, that's definitely in space. So, wasn't it Mad Max? That Mad Max game is so good. It's aged so well. I still think that's some of the best fire I've ever seen in a video game. It just is. I don't know why we've not been able to match that fire ever since. I don't know if I've played a game with fire that looks as good as that. It's just so good looking. Yeah. He's worked with Elle Fanning already. Yes, it's true. Cerny is a college dropout. He has no advanced degrees. I'm sorry, what? Predator Badlands is an excellent movie. Yeah, I've not seen it. Thank you guys for 200 likes. I appreciate it. We got about 45 minutes left in the stream. If you want to submit questions, you can bring up anything now at this point. It doesn't have to be about big games or anticipations or any of that from 2026 or in 2026, I should say. There could be other things going on in games or things that happened in the past year that you want to talk about. Feel free. Just bring it up. Throw it out there. Take a stance on a subject and we'll debate it. Mad Max was so good. It really was. The vehicular combat in Mad Max was so surprising. It was excellent. A lot of times, getting into vehicular combat and stuff like that can be just absolute crap. It was quite good. What was the last book you read that had a profound impact on you? Oh, for Pete's sakes. Probably The Lost World of Genesis 1 and 2, I think, was eye-opening. It was very good. What's his name? John Watson's his name, I believe. I believe that's his name. You guys got me a bunch of the books for like my Walton, not Watson. John Walton is his name. His books are fabulous. He's got a couple. He's got a lot, actually. 1984. Right now, fiction, I'm finishing the 3rd book in Stormlight Archives. That's really good. The introduction manual to his cap card. Yeah. What's that? An instruction manual for a cap card? I don't even know what that is. What do you think about Larian Studios' use of AI for researching concept art or ideas? I don't care. I don't care. If a company uses generative AI for voices because they don't have the budget for voice actors, that's fine. As long as they're doing it ethically. Like if they're going to use generative AI to mimic someone's voice and not pay them, I have a problem with that. That's not cool. That's like super underhanded. But if some 5-person team is like, man, some of this AI voice stuff's getting really good. We can have some voices in our game and it's actually not that bad. It's getting better and better, right? I have no problem with that. Now, a really, really big budget team cutting corners and making slop and having like the calling cards that showed up in Call of Duty and stuff. I'm like, come on, what are y'all doing? You know, what are y'all doing here? I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. Let's go 40. I'm gonna put the timer up. $5 super chat from Ninja of Shadows. Set, start, show. There we go. That's how long we got. We got a countdown now. Not a Kojima fan, but the W brothers wanting him to do a Matrix game back in the day, and his team never told him. Seems like a missed opportunity. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I didn't know that happened. The AI isn't the issue. The slot part is the issue. Yeah, I think there are like 2 things that can happen with AI that I don't want to see. I don't want to see unethical practice. Like, I don't want to see somebody be like, oh yeah, our entire game is voiced by this person that we paid for, an hour's worth of work, and now we're not paying them anything ever again. Now, if somebody says, hey, I'm happy to let you use my voice. I need to be properly compensated for you using my voice. But, I think voice actors could certainly leverage the contracts in a way that actually allows them to maybe get more money, because you could be in multiple games and not have to clock near as amount of hours and make more money. Because instead of doing like one game, one project, and one contract, you could do multiple. So voice actors could be aggressive here and actually turn the tide in their favor if they're winsome and prudent and they're smart about it. Especially if you have like an iconic voice. So as long as that's not happening, like unethical, and as long as it's not like slop, like you open up the game and you're like, what the frick is this? Like this guy's got 8 fingers, or this card looks like just generic trash. I think those are the 2 issues that I would take issue with. Basically, ethical execution or sloppy execution. The only cars that are completely handmade these days cost over $1 million. Is it bad that every car is made with robots that stole jobs? Right. I mean, that's another aspect of automation in general that is never going away. You would have a new type of voice actor whose voice quality is sought after, even if they can't act. Yeah, if they have like a really, really good vocal fry or a really great deep sounding voice, booming voice, a very iconic voice. Maybe they're very good at impersonations of like different, ages, or maybe they're really good at sounding like an old man or something. There's different things that they could leverage. So the use of AI to me becomes a problem either in unethical execution or very sloppy, lazy execution. That's what we don't want to see. That's what we don't want to see in general. I think you as soon as you are not doing any of that, then I'm like, yeah, that's totally fine. I don't have an issue. James Earl Jones' estate about to make bank. Yeah, like he gifted his voice to Star Wars fans. Like they're allowed to use his voice, in perpetuity. I believe the estate is compensated for that. So Adam King with the question says, what's your over-under on how many devs will say, yeah, we use AI for busy work, nothing creative, so no biggie, only to get canceled by real gamers? I I just don't think, how do I want to say this? I don't think enough people are going to care for it to ever get traction. There are certainly people that care. There are certainly people that are passionate about this subject. And they were happy that, like, Expedition 33 gets disqualified from the Indie Game Awards because they had, like, texture placeholders that they used AI for, and then they removed them. They were like, no, we don't have any Gen AI in our game. Those were just placeholders. And they were still disqualified from the awards. And people were like, good. Anybody who uses AI is cringe and we shouldn't buy their games. Okay. It's fine that you feel that strongly about it. That's fine. If you have that level of conviction and you feel that strongly about something, you do you, boo-boo. That's great. I don't think there's enough people that feel that strongly about it. Because ultimately, consumers don't generally care about things that don't affect them. I know that's not the most heartwarming thing to hear after the holidays and as we go into the new year, but they don't care. If it doesn't affect them, they don't care. Why? You have to make them care or convince them to care, and that's a difficult task. Box of Sharp Objects gets a gifted membership from Haseo. Haseo's guy's like, we got 35 minutes to get 100 members. Let's do it. So it's very, very difficult to convince. And Jay bumps the line as well and gets us to 693. A little member train could get us there. Thank you so much, Jay and Haseo. Like right now, if you tried to mobilize people against Arc Raiders because they use AI for voices, it's an insurmountable task. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna be like, that's it, I'm done, I'm not playing, I'm out, I want my money back. Like, it's not gonna happen. It isn't. Egnarts comes in with 50 months of renewal and gets us to 694. Thank you so much, Egnarts. Think about the degree to which people tried to boycott Hogwarts Legacy. I just want you to think about how that went, right? And Alex comes in with a 10 bomb and rolls us over, boom, in to 700, and that's an Agents of Chaos 10 bomb. I owe you guys a member. Thank you so much. Think about the degree to which people tried to do that. Now, my opinion is what happened with Hogwarts Legacy was pathetic. It was embarrassing. It was some of the most cringe virtue signaling I think I've ever seen. People were lying. They were saying, if you support the game, it supports JK, and she gave money to this really horrible organization, and she didn't. They could never tell you the name of the organization. They could never tell you how much money she gave because she didn't. It was a completely fabricated thing, right? But there was a whole lot of passion. And there was a whole lot of, I'm not going to stream it, and here's an application that will tell you streamers that are covering it are going to play it. Me. You know, we have the moral high ground so we can target people, right? People are really all about that, right? If they're right, then you're allowed to target people for harm. Frickin' eye roll. Anyways, it was pathetic, but it got pretty loud. Did it do anything to Hogwarts Legacy at all? No. It didn't. It didn't do a thing. Most sold game that year. One of the most commercially successful launches of a game we probably have ever seen. Just massively successful. And I think that probably had more people angry and yelling than you're ever going to get angry and yelling about AI. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So if that level of fervor and passion and screaming and targeting and, you know, what I would consider to be buffoonery, I thought it was absolute buffoonery the way people acted about Hogwarts Legacy. The willingness to lie about people because you think you're in the moral position. Like, the sheer irony to be like, I have the moral high ground, so I can lie. Oh, so you could do something immoral because you have the moral high ground. Wouldn't that be sacrificing the moral high ground anyways? the sheer irony there is just staggering. But if you can get to that level of passion, fervor, and we're going to boycott, and it does nothing to the game, brothers, you are never going to see a mobilization of we can really hurt a game or boycott a game over AI. Hogwarts should have won awards. Didn't they remove it from getting nominations? It wasn't removed from getting nominations. You just have a cowardly gaming press that wouldn't nominate it because they would review it and get the ad revenue from the clicks, but they all made sure to say, I don't like J.K. Rowling. Yeah, nobody freaking asked what you think of J.K. Rowling. How was the game? And so none of them would nominate it. The gaming presser is cowardly. Like they were like, well, we don't want to nominate it. We don't want to praise it without making sure we like tip our hat to the angry people. What did the Joker say in the movie? Did your balls drop off? Like you didn't have the balls to be like, the game's good. We don't care about this nonsense. Like, I don't think it was intentionally excluded. I think the gaming press didn't vote for it. They were cowards. They knew it was a great game. They knew it was an awesome game, and they refused to vote for it and nominate it. Also, it didn't have a strong critic reception because of the nonsense. If you go to, let's see here, Hogwarts Legacy Open Critic. Yeah, like an 84 out of 175. Like that's probably a slightly blunted score. It's a slightly blunted score because like it had people that were not giving it, GameSpot gave it a 6 out of 10. Like, really? It's a 6 out of 10 game? In what freaking universe is that a 6 out of 10 game? Enormous, well-built, well-crafted, good systems within it, no bugs, no glitches. You give it a 6 out of freaking 10? What are you talking about? You give it a failing grade? Yeah, because you got a B in your bonnet about JK. Like, that's why it didn't get nominated. It didn't have the strong critic response because the critics were all scared. They were like, we don't want to be seen giving it a good score. If we give it a good score, we gotta make sure and put a disclaimer in here about JK. Get the frick out of here. It was stupid. The point is, if that level of everybody kind of going along with that narrative didn't hurt Hogwarts, you're never going to get enough people to care to hurt a game that uses AI. You want to know what will hurt a game that uses AI? If it looks like crap and if it plays like crap, it'll crash and burn. People are like, it's AI slop. Does that make sense? Like, what will kill games that use AI is the embarrassing slop that's starting to show up. That's what people aren't going to be like, don't buy it. It's got AI. I mean, they will, but there won't be enough of those people to hurt a game. But if you boot up a game and you're like, oh my gosh, this is some cringe AI slop right here. Not to borrow from just all the language of the time right now, cringe and slop, but like that's what people are going to say. And if that happens, then yeah, the game will do poorly. And that is economic Darwinism at play. Survival of the fittest. If you make a piece of crap, if you make something that's slapped together and sloppy and got no passion and love and heart and whatever, it's not going to do well. We talked about this yesterday about how, like, why all the games feel like they look the same now. Because they don't have to do all that extra work and grit and determination to make a game look great. They can just use prefab lighting systems and texture systems, and they're like, well, just, yeah, make a character. And it's like, well, this character and this world looks like a game I've seen before. Because they're not taking that time to really establish an art style, because in the past, they had to do more work to make their games look good. They had to get creative. And what it did was it made games have a feel. It was like they had texture. It's like you could almost feel like you could reach out and touch. Have you ever heard anybody say that this is a really weird thing to do? You can look at something and you can tell what it would feel like to lick it. Pause. No, but seriously, you can. You can look at a paper towel, a piece of plastic, a piece of metal, or a cheeseburger, and you're like, I know what that's going to feel like You can sense it. You can look at it. There's texture to it. You look at old games. You go back and look at like a Borderlands 1, or you look at like the earliest Halos. There's texture, and you're like, you remember it. It kind of burns it into your brain. It's got something to it that you could almost feel like you could put your hands on. Now a game comes out and there's something so sanitized and polished about High Guard. You look at it and you're like, what it just looks so sanitized and clean, and like there's no flaws. Does that make sense? Like, I wonder if sometimes like we've hit this apex of like the lack of flaws makes something less memorable. Maybe it just looks so clean and so and so sanitized. You could have said touch. I forget, the video trended. She was like, "Did you know you can look at anything and you can and you know exactly what it would feel like if you licked it?" And I was like, "What?" And then I looked at a couple things around me and I was like, "What the frick? She's right." Like, you can you know exactly what it's going to feel like. And I feel like that's what games look like now. They all look like smoothed over, overly polished, and it's like, yeah, there's no grit here. Ward Huff comes in with a single gifted. He gets us 20 away from the next milestone. You guys have 34 minutes to hit 800 and unlock a New Year's Eve stream. Yeah, real life is flawed. Yes, there's something that is missing. Like, if you're going to go photorealistic, you've really got to swing hard. You got to make your game look like, Death Stranding 2. If you watch the new Avatar movie, you get what Lono is saying. It has way more texture than any Marvel movie as of late. You can almost feel their skin through the screen. Yeah. Manufactured is a good word. That is a good word, Trill. Yeah, it's too manufactured. It's like production line gaming. You're like, it's not AI, but it feels like you went into a computer somewhere and you said, make a game that is, Fortnite, Overwatch adjacent in art style. It's a hero shooter. There's horses and there's a big ice monster. That's literally what it feels like. It's like this is, there's nothing here that feels like you dug in deep to make a cool main character. Like, there's a reason the first time you saw like a Horizon Zero Dawn trailer, you remember it. You're like, what? The world had a feel and a vibe, and there was grit, and her long red hair and these big mechanical dinosaurs. You're like, oh my gosh, that was something they spent time on. Like, if you look at Returnal, I've got the Returnal art book. They spent time, and they've got all these concepts and all these outfits and all these planets, all these things they could have done, and it leads to this moment. I feel like when you look at a game like High Guard, it just looks so manufactured, so prefab. It's like there's nothing here. It doesn't look like you guys spent any time on this. It just doesn't. And it's really hard to think that you did spend a lot of time on it, because it's just another live service game. It's just another hero shooter. Ninja of Shadows with a $2 super chat. When games are in Unreal now, I know it will be a mess. So, was Expedition 33 a mess? It is Unreal. It had some issues with lip sync, but I don't think the game was a mess. The countdown ain't countdowning? What happened? Why did it stop? How much time do we have left? Yeah, that was weird. Who did that? That was weird. I don't know why that happened. I don't know. OBS doesn't like this thing. It acts funny sometimes. I don't think there's anything with the tool that's built that's the problem. I think OBS doesn't like browser sources. I think OBS is cantankerous. Yeah, Arc Raiders is Unreal. Like Hellblade 2, you can have a game that looks like Hellblade 2, Arc Raiders, and an Expedition 33. I don't know. Yo, what's good, Nitro Fusion? Good to see you. 99% of the games on Unreal 5 this gen have had some sort of performance issues, at least on PC. I would say 9 times out of 10, that's a developer problem. It's not an engine problem. There are plenty of games that run and look just fine on Unreal 5. I think it's a dev issue. I don't know how this fits into your point, but the games on UE5 that actually work are the ones that don't use all the default features and they build their own. Yeah, it's almost like they get down into the guts of the game and they build something. Do you want Chick-fil-A? How soon? Excuse me. 2 of the biggest games this year are UE5. Yeah. To be honest, I have no idea what's going on in Highguard. I can't tell what it's supposed to be. 10 to 15 minutes. Sure. If Overwatch or Apex trailer dropped today, how would people react to it? Highguard. Overwatch. It's hard to ask about Overwatch because Overwatch is part of the reason people have a resistance to these games, because they don't feel like the game looks new. They don't feel like the game is fresh. They feel like it's something that they've seen before or played before. That's part of the problem. Like, you can't really unknit that sweater. You can't be like, well, what would people think of Overwatch if it showed up today? It's like, well, but Overwatch is baked into our entire schema now. Like, we look at games like this and we're like, this looks familiar. You know? What's she saying here? No drink. Cherry. Yo, Sony Kent jumps back in. Boys, we are close. You got 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes to unlock a New Year's Eve stream tonight. It isn't a kiddo game. Have you played Horizon? Wait, somebody said Horizon's a kiddo game? Who said that? Huh? I want Ark to become Horizon Zero Dawn for grown-ups and an ESO online size. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I understand what you're saying there. Horizon Zero Dawn for grown-ups. My other prediction for 2026 and beyond is that outside of GTA 6, I don't think we see a game as graphically impressive as Death Stranding 2 for this generation, and we won't see a better looking game until PlayStation 6. Are you sure about that? I think you're forgetting. You're forgetting about Intergalactic. Sony Kent upgrades to Member Plus. You love to see it. Boom. We count that as a second. That's a double. Are you talking about Horizon Lego? Did the wrong one? No worries. Welcome back in. I'm counting it as a double. All member pluses count as 2. If a bunch of you guys upgrade right now, man, you guys could steamroll this goal. That's what we want to see. That number, that member plus, that 443 number, that is our big focus going into the new year, and that's why we're helping. That's why we're adding you guys on Monday. You guys jumpstart the whole week. So, and Siege Master with a 5-bomb. Boom. Gets us to 712. Currently, that member plus number is 449. It's 449. There you go. You just added to it. And Stone Spire comes in with a single and gets us to 713. The man himself. Always bumping that line. Thank you so much, Stone Spire. And a member plus renewal from ya boy, Chris. Thank you so much. Gets us to 714. I know what Stone Spire is going to try and get you guys to do. Yep, he's going to do another single. He wants to see a 10 bomb to 725. We're at 715. I owe you guys a member at 725. Thank you so much. I always pay it back. Every 25, I gift one myself. I think Wolverine's going to look amazing. I think Wolverine's going to look amazing. I also think you say Intergalactic won't top Death Stranding 2 visually. What Kojima has done to Death Stranding 2 is insane. You know, I probably would agree that I don't necessarily think Naughty Dog is going to be able to flex harder, but I think they're going to come really dadgum close to that level of fidelity. Like, that trailer looks really good, brother. Like, really good. I think they're going to come really close to matching. Spider-Man 2 was rough at launch. There was like one glitch, and then there was like a couple of clips of people getting stuck in stuff, which in open world games that happens. And there were people faking glitches on Twitter as well. Like the problems with Spider-Man 2 were vastly overstated by console warriors. That game was not at all described as a rough state at launch. It had a couple of issues that were very quickly fixed. Insomniac's games are not quote unquote rough at launch. Open world games can just have rough edges. I've just come to accept that. Haseo says, come on, guys. 85 more members, man. Haseo has been so generous today. Appreciate you, man. I feel like a lot of people haven't played Death Stranding 2 to the end. The environments look so photorealistic. The motion capture is next level. I mean, I played all the way to the end. Spider-Man 2 was rough at launch on PC. Oh, yeah. The port to PC was a disaster. Zoom comes in with a 5 spot. Zubair gets us to 720, and we're moving, and Quick Slow adds a single. Boom, 721. Thank you so much, Quick Slow. Yeah, I played all the way to the end of Death Stranding 2. I agree with you. It gets absolutely stunning. I just think Intergalactic's going to hit pretty hard. And Joker Quinn gifts a member. Good to see you, Joker Quinn. You used to be in here doing those Ruiner single gifteds, and he's here again today. Good to see you, brother. I had several issues with Spider-Man 2. The picture was washed out, and it's the only game that shut my PS5 off multiple times. Homie, I didn't hear anybody talking about that. Washed out picture? Huh? And a 5 bomb comes in from Friend of Ninjas. Boom. 727. That sounds like an air circulation problem. Like if your PlayStation's shutting off when you're playing a game like Spider-Man 2, I mean, that game sold a lot of copies, homie. If it was shutting people's PlayStations off, there'd have been widespread complaints. I probably had an air circulation problem. Yeah, clean that sucker out. You know? We had somebody here say that. They're like, it keeps shutting off. I don't know what game they were playing. It wasn't Spider-Man. But they were saying that it kept shutting off on them. We're like, how's the air circulation? Have you cleaned it out? Is it dusty? And they cleaned it out and it went away. Might be a TV issue. Yeah, the washed out color could be HDMI cable, HDR settings. Anything could be set up incorrectly because, I don't know. I know for a fact I had a bad HDMI cable I got a Hisense TV for my wife because we wanted 2 televisions, and the Hisense television came with a cable, and Returnal looked terrible. I'm like, why the frick does it look like this? I was like, man, you guys really got me a good TV if it looks this much better. Well, I switched the cables, and it was like night and day. Like, there were features on the television that opened up and were available just by switching the HDMI cable. Like, the one they put in the box was like a piece of garbage. It was a piece of garbage. So, I don't know. There were multiple Reddit posts on the issue at launch. I remember Reddit posts about getting stuck in, there were like physics problems, and then there was the cube. And then there was a bunch of fake clips on Twitter. The guys would go into photo mode and they would fake glitches. That's the height of pathetic, but there were people doing it. And I don't remember seeing anybody complaining about it shutting off. Anytime I've ever had anybody complaining about their PlayStation shutting off, they clean it and it goes away. All this stuff got patched. There were a bunch of Reddit posts on the issues at launch. I'll just have to take your word for it. I didn't see it. I played through that game day one. Was in there for long periods of time. So, Haseo is spamming Farty Bomb. He says, let's get it. You guys have got time. We got 23 minutes. Haseo has just been in the trenches today. My TV is older than Death Stranding 2. Oh, my TV is older. And a single gifted comes in from Stone Spire. I know what Stone Spire is going to do. This guy He's so faithful with this. He's going to bump this to 730. He wants a 20 bomb to 750. We'll see if anybody grants his wish. Vertical PS5 can use liquid metal to shift, not cool properly. It happened to me. You had that happen? Tommy, I've seen people say that. I've been vertical for a long time. And another single gifted comes in from Stonespire and gets us a 729. Get your finger triggers ready here. Stonespire's going to do one more with that stream delay. You guys have to watch chat instead of wait for me. Another one comes in from Stonespire. Boom, there it is, 730. Next year, I'm going to be the PC Master Race guy. I'm going to try being the get the best monitor guy. It never happened again. Huh. Hasio says, let's end the year with the farty bomb. That's right. And a single... There it is. Joker Quinn, the ruiner himself, messes up Stonespire's setup, dude. He's so ornery with it. You don't have to own the game to make a Reddit post, just like you don't have to own it to write a Metacritic review. And that's true. That's true. Even Alex is spamming the farty bomb emote. It's bad to have your PS5 vertical. That's what folks have said. I think it's a combination of things. I think if it's vertical and if it's in a space where the air doesn't circulate well, it can hit heat levels that causes issue. If it's well circulated, my PS5s and Pros have been vertical since day one, and I mean they get used a lot, and I don't know what to tell you. They're out in the open with air circulation, so they're not. I don't think they're ever getting too hot that it's a concern. So, I think a lot of the times when you hear somebody talking about that, or they actually are having trouble in their PlayStation shutting down and stuff, I think they've got it in a closed space. There's also pet hair and dust that plays a role. I mean, we've literally had people here dealing with issues. They gave it better air circulation. They took the plates off, blew it out, got all the stuff out, the dust and the pet hair and stuff, and all of a sudden, all their problems went away. Like a system shutting down like that is very rare that it's like the game. It's a heat issue. It's not the game being like, oh, our game is coded so poorly, we're causing your PlayStation to crash. No, it's a heat issue. The same thing happens with PCs. They get too hot and they just bing, they protect themselves and they shut down. There are temperature thresholds that they hit and they shut down. PS5 can collect tons of dust. It can. I mean, I've seen pictures. It's nasty. Some of y'all's nasty. Some of y'all are nasty, man. You need to, clean up. Anyway, I got some more questions here. We got 20 minutes left, boys. A question comes from Jay. Wolverine, Marvel 1943, GTA, Black Flag, 007, Fable if it drops. Okay, so he's got a list of games that he's looking forward to in 2026. He's got Wolverine, Marvel 1943, GTA 6, 007, Black Flag Remake, Gears of War E-Day, and Fable if it drops. Yeah, Fable is one of the big question marks for next year. We don't have much to go on right now, other than if they decide to show it or not at the developer direct in January. I blow up my PS5 every 3 months. It literally takes 5 minutes. My friend had power issues, and I told him to clean that sucker off. No issue since. Yeah, I've seen that very commonly. I've seen it on Twitter, Reddit. I've seen it in our own Discord. It's a thing. It's totally a thing. So, let's see. Banshee's got a question. If GTA 6 doesn't drop at 60 FPS, do you see it hurting sales in any way? Seems like there is enough hype behind it that it's going to sell regardless. I don't think you can hurt the sales of GTA 6 at all. Like, I don't think measurably you will see a reduction in sales no matter what happens. I mean, they could come out and be like, our game's woke and we hate you. And people would be like, well, that's unfortunate. And then they'd all buy it. Like, I just don't think you can measurably damage a game sales of this size of this size. So if it comes out at 30, people will complain. Folks like me will just I'll skip it. I won't touch it. I'm like, no thanks, I'm good. I don't play 30 FPS games. I just don't. You know, I had somebody that heard me say that, and then they saw that I played Revenge of the Savage Planet with Hilly, and it's like, well, yeah, we played it on PC, and I got 60 FPS. I literally stopped playing Revenge of the Savage Planet with my wife on console until they patched in performance mode. And when they patched in performance mode, we went back. It was great. It was fun. We played it, and we rolled credits. It was one of the games I finished this year. So I just don't know how much you could hurt GTA 6's sales. Even if it comes out at 30 FPS, I still think it'll sell like crazy. You know? What title could compete with GTA at this point? It would take Bloodborne 2 and Titanfall 3 dropping the same day. Oh, even those wouldn't stand a chance. Wouldn't stand a chance. They'd be so angry they would buy the deluxe edition instead of the Ultra. That's right. Having a typo day, it's okay. Lots of flubs in my question. It's all right. We got Has191 says, if Red Dead Redemption 2 still holds up today extremely well, won't that mean GTA 6 and PC port, the game will be one of the best looking games of all time? I mean, I think GTA 6 is going to look incredible, but I also think performance is the big question. I mean, they are swinging hard at dynamic systems and lighting and reflections and water. I mean, I don't know, man. That's not supposed to be at 16. We're supposed to only be going for about 10 more minutes. I don't want to go longer than 3. We'll do it. I'll honor the timer. The timer messed up. You guys got a bit of an extra boost on the timer for some reason. Not sure why Caps Lock was on. Said it will sail instead of sell. Yeah, it's fine, Banshee. I knew what you were talking about. Does gift info on Twitch still count? Yeah, people gifted this morning. I'm not streaming over there right now, but people gifted this morning over there, and we counted it. Yeah. I don't know. I can't see if you guys are doing it. Are you guys gifting over there? There is a big sale going on over there right now, like 35% off gifteds. I mean, I can pull up the chat over there if that's what you guys want to do. I mean, I know some of you guys have some guys have money on the platform they'd rather use there. Like, I think you can spend your earnings over there or something. I'm more curious about performance on the base PS5. I think GTA 6, I think they've continued to signal that 60 FPS is a priority. I think they've signaled that. I do. I think they've done updates to their old games. They've done too much to tell people that they care about that. And to just be like, oh no, yeah, after all that we've done for our older games, here is a brand new generation defining game at 30 FPS. I don't know. That would just be bizarre. And again, I don't think it would hurt the sales at all. I think it would still sell like crazy. I just think they know the optics and they don't want that to be the dialogue about their game when it comes out. As big as the game is, they still don't want that to be what everybody's talking about. You know? Did you make some changes with the show, where the show is, member benefits? We do morning coffee on Twitch. It will be sub-only going forward. There are people that like to use their Prime over there, and I want to let them continue to watch something like morning coffee. But we no longer do the live show over there. It was hurting us. We had to bring the boys home. We sent some of our most loyal viewers over there, and YouTube interprets that rather negatively. And we are hoping that 2026 is a very different year for us, because this year is now in the rear view, and it was very, very difficult, and we're trying to remove some of that, and that's one of the things we did. We'll still do gameplay and live events and things over there, but the daily show, like this show here, The big thing we need in 2026 is I need that Member Plus number to continue to go up, which I do content for that. That's why we do that. And we need people hanging out here and watching here instead of over there, because we spent 3 years building the show here, and then we kind of sliced a piece of it off, and it hurt us. So, Morning Coffee on Twitch, main show YouTube, Green Room Discord. We're bringing Green Room back to YouTube in the new year, but I don't think we're going to be able to leave the VODs up. So if you upgrade to Member Plus and you're here for Green Room, you'll get to enjoy it in the moment, but it's until YouTube makes some changes, the Green Room VOD will have to go private afterwards. And I am working within a system that I lack control. Once they give me more control, we won't have to do that anymore. You get something for my Prime? If you go over there and celebrate it and you hit it, I add it to the total. Yeah, you got to do that in Morning Coffee, or I can leave the Twitch chat pulled up and watch it, and if people go in there and renew or gift, I'll happily add it to the total. You're still supporting me. So, yeah. Haven't been here a few days, so I was wondering. We've continued to stream on Twitch to let people know what's going on, because I knew it would take a while for everybody to kind of get the memo. So it was very vindicating to get the channel back. It was very exciting. I'm very grateful to have the channel back, and grateful for the people that support it over there. But, you know, remember when I stopped covering Destiny and lots of Destiny people stopped coming around? That gets interpreted rather negatively. They're like, oh, you made a change and people didn't like it. Well, people were really excited that I got Twitch back, but it looked the same way on paper. It looked like a bunch of people left. And YouTube's like, oh man, you must have done something that the people didn't like, and that's bad. So, yeah, that's kind of the inside baseball. Is you can't do that. You can't drive your audience away. Like, go away and don't watch. Like, I mean, there are people that have done that. They've crashed out and done that, and it's bad when they do it. And so, sadly, that's the long and short of it. So, but that's a great reason to be on Member Plus. You won't miss anything. For $6 a month, you get to see Morning Coffee, you get in the Discord, you get in the Green Room. That's like the easiest solution. If you're like, hey, I love it here and I want to see everything, that's your solution right there. If you stay on the comments, it'll keep getting some. I've been doing my absolute darndest to respond to all the comments on the PvE Arc Raiders video. Haseo says, come on, guys. Let's get to 800. Yeah, you're close. You guys are really close. You got 10 minutes. It's the final countdown. We'll see. We shall see. You guys made a heck of a run, but you got 10 minutes. Before the end of the year, let's be honest, did you make it to the room 46 in Blueprints? No, I didn't. Madam and I had a really good time with Blueprints. I think we got, 15, 16 hours out of it, and we had a good time with it. But once it got into like the RNG and needing to like craft items and stuff, yeah. J-Dog hits 43 months. I'm adding it. All renewals count, gifteds count. And a 5-bomb comes in from Jack Garland. Boom, 737. And a single comes in from Jay. Boom, 738. Jack says, frick it, last shot. Throw it at the wall, boys. Did you just say final countdown without doing the hook from the song? I'm not going to do the I'm not going to do it. I want my gifted back. Yeah, the comment on the PvE video for Arc Raiders, the guy says, underrated video, amazing at explaining the nuance of having to balance behavioral changes with preventing manipulation tactics. That's a very nice comment. Thank you to the person that said that. Noel left that comment on the Arc Raiders video. Judas when? Yeah, we've gotten no updates on Judas in a while. What's 800 goal for? Okay, so if it gets to 1,000, that's for community game night. That's Friday. That's a couple days away still. This is for tonight. I said, hey, you know what? I was like, we need to get moving on the big goal. Let's have a smaller one. Let's get to 800, and I'll do a New Year's Eve stream tonight with y'all, and I'll show you this stupid platinum grind in Returnal, and we'll ring in the new year together. And people started to go, and they were like, well, let's do it. That'll be fun. So, yeah, they're making friends. Well, it's just a guy leaving a comment. I don't know who that is. It's not like a YouTuber. But yeah, the arc vid is cooking. Yes, it is. It is doing very well. It'll probably end up being one of our best videos. Yeah, one of our best performing videos. Yeah, and it just keeps going. So thank you to everybody who supported that video. And we continue to hope that can be something that we do in the new year, is deliver really, really good vids like that for you guys. I want to increase the quality and the value of those vids, for you. I want you guys to click on a video and know you're getting a good piece of content. That's the goal. Same thing with a live stream. That's why we're continuing to allow and encourage the use of the question command. You guys get included in the content more, like this right here. Adam King says, "What's the best blind purchase you ever had with the game?" I don't know if I've ever made a blind purchase. I mean, it's almost impossible for me to make a blind purchase now. I'm too informed. You know what I mean?
No ice.
Like you're not. Ooh, yeah, no ice. You're not going to take me by surprise with a game. I think I've done. Okay. I think there maybe have been some indie titles, maybe, that I've just been like, let me check this out. I don't know. And Stone Spire gifts a member. He's like, boys, we got 6 minutes, and there is a little bit of stream delay. You guys are going to have to hustle. You guys get it to 750. You might get one of the big boys to land it with a 50. Are you streaming tomorrow? Yes. We might just hang out with members tomorrow. And we'll go to Green Room and we'll figure out what we're going to do. And there it is, 7:40. People might want to ring in the new year and work on the goal. So we'll see. We might just do a laid-back stream tomorrow, cover some news, and play some games. I've got some games in my backlog I've been wanting to check out, like Biomorph is like a platformer. Stone Spire sets it up. You're a 10 bomb away from 750. The man. Haseo says he just set up 320 bombs. Haseo. Oh, I love you, Haseo. He's like, he just set up 320 bombs. Oh, my gosh. That's funny. My blind purchase I made recently was Ball Pit and Mega Bonk. My buddy told me it was good. I never watched anything and looked at reviews, pleasantly surprised. Nope, too late. Biomutant stream tomorrow. Yeah. Check out the Pragmata demo. Yeah, we could check out Pragmata tomorrow. Yeah. Paging Dr. Freud, this man misses Biomutant. That was not a Freudian slip. You put it in my head from earlier, right? 750 for the boys. 750 for the boys. Let's do it. You put it in my head from earlier, and there's a game called Biomorph. It's a very similar name. That was not a Freudian slip. I promise you, it was not. And people are trying to manifest this one, boys. They're spamming Farty Bomb. You have 5 minutes. It is literally. Let's see if you can get a buzzer beater. Madam's going to be pissed if you guys hit the goal. She's going to be like, you're doing what? Don't blame me. I'm not responsible for your messed up relationship with your mother. Wait, what? Are you projecting? Are you projecting? I think you're projecting, bro. I have a great relationship with my mother. What are you talking about? And my dad. I do. I have a great relationship with my parents. Oh, man. Zoob's out here projecting again. Biomutant fell flat. It really did. Oh, boy. Whew. That was bad. That was a bad one. Yes, you do, kiddo. Oh, stop it. Get out of here. My daughter came in and she was like, I have a good relationship with my father, but I don't know where he is. Where is Pork Pie when we need him? Yeah, you guys have to do the bat signal for Pork Pie. You got about 3 minutes. His username is Pork Pie. You guys have 3 minutes. Oh, man. I don't need pickles, kiddo. Go on, kid. Go on. And a 5 bomb from Raven here at the buzzer. Trying to make it happen. Thank you so much, Raven. 7:45. Oh, man. Hi, kiddos. Yeah, it was my daughter. It's coming. I knew it. What's good, Chopper? What's good, Chopper? Eric, how are you? Oh, man. We will see. No extension on this one, man. We're past the 3-hour mark. I mean, I guess if we hit it, we can just keep hanging out. But, yeah. Does she know that her synth songs are the best ones in the playlist? She does. Yeah. She usually says, tell stream I said hi. She says that every time I come down. Tell stream I said hi. And then she'll say, tell them that I still want a dog. I think. That's usually the two things that she says. Yeah. I've done all I can. No. You're fine, Jay. You're fine. You're fine. And a 5-bomb comes in from Sal. There it is. Boom. 750. You guys have 2 minutes. There is a bit of a stream delay. I owe you a member for the 750. Here's the one that I got. I owe you guys. Here it comes. Boom. All right. I'm all paid up. I'm all paid up for the 750. She's a legend. Yeah. Dying for a phone is an eternal hit. Everyone loves that one. Can you get 55 members to get us to New Year's streams? Oh, Paseo is literally adding pork pie in the Discord. Paseo. He's literally bat signaling pork pie. I'm perishing. Wait, is her song playing right now? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Everybody's spamming Farty Bomb. I don't know, boys. A minute. There's stream delay too, so that's barely a minute and a half. Yeah, it's not playing right now. A Freud is a type of Austrian pastry? Is it? And a VIP from ADJC says, let's get it, chat. It's coming. 50 bombs. Farty bombs. And it's coming. Emotes. You think Jesus will extend stream? I don't know. I don't think he cares about that. Are you actually asking who Freud is? Sigmund Freud, like the most famous psychologist in history? Yeah, I mean it's a really well-known name. Can't make it happen without a question. Huh? 50 seconds. You guys have done buzzer beaters before. This is a tough one. This is one of the tougher ones to do. When we're like 15 or 20 away, everybody will kind of like rally and be like, they'll be throwing singles and fives, but 50 is tough. That's a tough one. The dream is dead. Yeah, it's I'm watching. I've got the chat and the countdown in frame. I can see both. You guys will get credit if you do it. We miss Mash. We all miss Mash. He always made sure we hit the goals. He was good. He's a good dude. The tears are going to be so tasty. He says, days like this, I enjoy Green Room. Creature is so mean. 3, 2, 1, time's up. There it is. Creature is the meanest. Hold on, no drinking during the New Year's Eve stream? No, I didn't say that. No, I was gonna have drinks with you guys. I was gonna show you guys the Returnal Platinum grind that I'm working on right now. I was gonna do it. We tried. That's fine. You guys were still working on the real goal, which is the one for Friday night, which is community game night. It's fine. You guys put a big dent into it. It'll make it easier the next 2 days. Won't be such a task. Creature's on our side. He is not. Got a defib. I would count a 50 right now as a defib. Like if somebody would have been a little bit delayed or something because of stream delay, I wouldn't have been a jerk. That'd be mean. Be like, you missed it by 20 seconds. Like I wouldn't have done that, but we're kind of beyond that. So if you are a member to this channel or a sub on YouTube, a sub on Twitch, you get access to our Discord. Okay. Now, going forward, to access Green Room, you're going to need to be at Member Plus. So you're going to want to continue to either be at Member Plus or VIP, or you're going to want to upgrade. All right? Returnal made me feel so stupid I got stuck on the first level. I have a stream on this channel called Returnal Gameplay in 2025. Check that out. It'll help you. I have tips and tricks and ways to play in that one that'll show you how to navigate the game, how to progress, how to sense you're actually progressing. It's like my favorite game. So yeah, but right now we're going to do Green Room in the Discord. So that's a great reason to be in our Discord, stay connected, not miss out on announcements and things like that. Okay, so the Discord link is about to be in chat. Also, it's in the description below this video, okay? And listen, I say this every time, and I mean this. I don't just say this. I don't get paid to say this. This isn't sponsored. This isn't some fake virtue. I genuinely mean this. If you're going to go out and party tonight, if you're going to go and be drinking, get Uber or Lyft installed on your phone now. Do it now. Don't wait till later. You don't want to be fumbling with your phone and tipsy and like, oh, forget it. No, don't do that. You don't take your life and the life of others in your own hands and risk that. All right? Get yourself a safe ride home and be safe tonight. If you're going to parties, make sure everybody's got a ride. Make sure everybody's taken care of, okay? Take care of each other out there. These nights can be very, very bad. So enjoy and celebrate safely. And if I don't see you in the green room right now, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for a great 2025. And, pray and light candles and wish me and wish all of us a much better 2026, all right? That's what we're hoping for, all right? Appreciate you guys. Get in the Discord if you want to take part in what we do next. We'll figure out what we're doing tomorrow, all right? Take care.